This is Community Formation, a podcast made by and for the Twilight Imperium community. What's up, dude?
What is up,
What
my
the fuck
man?
is
Good
up,
to
dude?
be here.
We're back.
You know, you look good, you feel good, and you, my man,
Yeah?
you're looking real good. So
Dude,
you got to be feeling real
I
good.
don't know, bro. I got to shave or some shit, bro. I'm like looking a little scraggly. Looking a little
Oh,
scraggly.
dude,
And
I went to go.
tired. Oh, fuck.
Your schedule change's rough, man.
Yeah.
I hate to hear that, but I'm glad we've got time. We're recording
Yeah.
again. We've recorded three straight friggin' weeks. We're killing it.
Dude.
We're killing it.
Yeah,
really.
a lot of content generation going on. For real.
But speaking of scraggly, so like I haven't paid for a haircut since I was 13 because my sister owns her own salon. And like I texted her yesterday, I was like, hey, can I get in for a haircut? And usually she'll get me back like within like, oh yeah, like come in like tomorrow. She's like a month out from now. I'm like, damn girl, you all business this week.
Dude.
What is going on?
Wow.
Yeah, dude, so I'm gonna have to like embrace the mullet life, man. Like I think I'm really gonna be digging deep.
Wow.
A lot of character growth is happening right before you.
Coming full circle, just like I did in my qualifier game. Just like I did.
Hey, man, that qual game, that was an absolute blast. If you can't check it out, it's on our YouTube.
Oh, yeah, because you just exported it.
Kind enough to organize it. Yeah, I'm exporting it right now as we
great.
speak.
It's going out there. It's going out there.
And it's a great game. Don't want to spoil it too much, but let's just say only one winner was in that game, and that was Chat. Chat, thank you. I appreciate you. And
God, I mean, honestly, I don't know, dude. I kind of want to spoil it, bro. Like,
I do want to spoil it because honestly, it was one of the more genuine moments from a TI game. The ending of that one.
Yeah. No, totally.
Yeah. So you go ahead, man. I'll let you do the honors.
Oh man. Well, homeboy, Portmandia. Because it's like a play, because it's a play on the show. I think
it's a portmanteau.
He's a portmanteau. Yeah, no, Portmandia. Homeboy won the game as, check it out, Empyrean. What about that, bro? Fucking MP win.
What a ride!
What a ride it was. What a ride it was.
No, and I watch the game. So many good vibes, so many good moments. Wicked and wet and wild rounds 1 and 5.
Yeah.
Pretty standard fare for most of, not all of,
sure.
Most of 2 through 4. Brassbird could have won in 4, but Brian decided to dick punch him a little bit. I'll tell you the absolute and utter truth of this statement.
Oh, he got me good. He got me good. Like I could go on about it, and in the video, I do go on about it.
Well, he's practicing Bam Bam's mastery of whining. Quite a bit.
Sure. But yeah.
No, and I'd want to say Jim, Doberhuawa, and I can't remember the sixth person in the game.
It's Fateros.
Yeah, Fateros. They all played an excellent game. But I do want to come out and say this. Sometimes the people who played the best game did not win, and Brian played probably one of the cleanest games of TI I've ever watched.
Oh yeah.
I'm not to denigrate your own thing.
No, totally. Because check this out. He had Mir Catalrex and he had Mech Catalrex for like
as Muat.
For like
he never lost
the entire game. Yeah, for like the entire game. And literally
round 2 on.
And literally just like no one did anything about him because his just positioning and his movements and everything was just so clean and so just like, just chess-like in their precision. Top decked and flank speed, round 1 into Semlor. It was just like, what are you doing right now, bro? Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, Brian, yet again, the person who played the best game doesn't always win, but also checks and balances is a fucking bitch.
Yeah, he's so salty about that one, bro, dude. He's fucking mad salty about this one, brother. Because I was the deciding vote on that, and it's so funny because the crazy 12-hour grind fest game that I streamed, that's also on the YouTube, has checks and balances in it. Yeah, check out the YouTube. It's got checks and balances in it, and it made the whole game just grind. And then going into the last round, I was the deciding vote, and I was like, dude, my speaker position sucks right now. Checks and balances going for. And chaos ensues. the absolute most wild like intro.
No
to
one
the
made
last
any
round.
deals. Everyone
No
handed
deals.
out garbage. There was no Imperial in round 5.
Except someone gave Mentak leadership. Like there was a Gambit deal, a Gambit, you know, like whatever. Like it was insane. But as far as what I have to whatever I have to say about my own game, yeah, I was really proud of it. I think I played pretty decently for playing a kind of a complex faction for the very first time. I had put in the draft whole thing. I'm pretty sure Mahawk was in my hand, and I put them down in a pool with a bunch of great commanders, and I ended up drafting them. I ended up getting a good number of the commanders, got to 9, had this whole rampage for the shard that I just didn't quite have enough gas in the tank to get all the way there. Got ghosted, bro. Like got wrecked by the ghost hero so hard. It was stunning.
Listen, ghosts, totally. They swiped right on you. They said, hey, you had a great night out. But then they gave you the I never want to see you after a dance hug. Like, the ass is real far away. Like, and you knew they were never going to call again.
Yeah, I should have known that they were going to ghost me the entire time. Yeah, dude. But I really got to say, kind of a Mahawk stan now. Just like, honestly, like their fucking kit is so fucking dope, dude.
High skill floor, high skill ceiling, not a beginner faction. And I've been, you've heard my Rahak rants, and every single time we have an interviewee on this show, I somehow talk about my belief that they're just, I'm feeling like Charlie Kelly with the fucking red yarn between everything when I talk about it at this point.
Yeah, both you and Spoon are like the hipsters about it, where it's like, I liked Mahawk before they were cool. You know? That's both of you, dude. For real.
Yeah, and I just want to say this, Brass, is I'm not just saying this is, your number one fan. I think you played a hell of a game, and
thanks,
even
man.
though everyone makes a lot of small errors along the way, but you played a tight game. You just got Brianed, and
I got Brianed.
You got Brianed, and it wasn't even really your fault that you got Brianed because you had to do what you had to do. But like Brian was gonna Brian.
Oh, he was gonna Brian. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean the guy literally only teched one time in the entire game, and it was for a meme. And that was like him dropping his balls on the table. And by balls, I'm talking about his war sons.
Yeah.
But
no, totally.
I think you could have won that game. You could have won it in round 4 if he didn't do what he did, and he had to do what he did. You put him in that position. So,
totally. And
go watch the video.
Totally.
And you'll be a Brassbird fan for life, but you'll probably be like, this Brian guy's fucking insane. Holy shit.
I mean, I get real close. Like I in the video, I say like, man, I'm just one token short, or one benediction. Brian.
or one biostems, really.
Or one biostems, exactly. Like literally, it could have been like any one of 3 solutions that I didn't have, and it was like just that one little bit made the difference. And I kind of, I don't know, had my own, I hesitate to call it a gambit, but I had my own moment with Portmanteau where I kind of set him up in this way, and I was like, very happy to do that. It's like it's a deserved win. For Homeboy,
it was a deserved win.
Sure.
Anyone at that table deserved the win. Everyone played a real tight game. Everyone was in it.
It was awesome. It was like Big Al is gonna love this game because it was literally so even on the scoring, like the whole way through. Like it
was not boat floaty though. It was business time.
Exactly.
There was this undertone of like
it was business time.
Ryan set the tone so early. Every deal was made with like, I could do this nice thing for you because like if I don't do the nice thing, I'm gonna do the bad out. Yeah, but no, man, and please watch the video. We need likes and subscribes. No, I'm just kidding. No, in all seriousness, it's worth a watch. It's a great show. You'll see a lot of excellent TI play. Not only will you see Brassbird memeing his way, showing why he's the mayor of the town council. You'll see excellent play from TI, and then you'll see a great emotional moment at the end from Portmanteau.
Yeah.
Can't recommend it enough. But I guess we kind of sort of have a reason that we're talking to the cameras at the moment.
Oh, totally.
I guess we're here for a nice episode of Community Formation. And
it's episode
what
12,
do we have going on to episode 12?
Episode 12,
yeah.
bro. Yeah.
That means half a year because we do it twice a month. Crazy to think.
Yeah, I mean, but then we
We don't talk about numbers here.
Yeah.
Actually, we started back in June. It's January. We're like half a month behind. It's fine. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, no worries.
So, anyways,
yeah.
But yeah, no. Today we're keeping kind of a stripped down, low key vibe, but we got everybody's favorite async dandy, the true lord and the only person to ever work on the bot or on the server, HolyTispoon, the literal async god. We are not a polytheistic religion. We are monotheistic.
Yeah.
And this man is the only person to ever work on it. By the way, this is a joke. Tortero, Somno, everyone else mentioned in the interview, they do a great job. This is all for memes.
This is all for the meme. But yeah, no, so delighted, so happy to have Spoon on the show. I feel like, I don't know, it's like Spoon really is like a third in our relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we have this really, and I talk about that in the interview, and it's just like, there's a lot of sentimental connection between the three of us, and there's a definite bromance, I would say. So it's just
absolutely.
So it's a very heartfelt episode this time around, like all over. Yeah, just feeling the good vibes and the good everything.
Yeah, and speaking of good vibes, we have everybody's favorite stats homie, DragoThaxton, on today to get that crunch back into the show that's been direly been missing.
Is this the best episode, or is it just like maybe the best episode we just have? Like,
I don't know. We had Bort on, man.
Oh my god, how
we did have Bort on that one time.
Outperform Bort.
I mean, gosh, it's just like a performance piece watching that man work. Sorry, I zoned out for a minute there. What were we talking about?
Did somebody order a Bort window? Did somebody order a Bort window? Because that's my favorite meme.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
No, definitely. We're gonna have Jazz Hands on, and I'm just gonna interrupt him the whole time he's on. By the way, he's not getting a single word out of his mouth. Are you kidding me? The episode where we have Jazz Hands on is going to be like a theatrical piece in like its level of drama and antagonism. Like, yeah, dude. No, it's going to be a production, is what that one is going to be. No, that will be. Yeah, we're going to save that for maybe episode 9,000.
Episode 69, bro.
Oh no, dude! That's when we get Vaunt PDX, Brian, and you to have the meme round.
Yes. No, incredible.
Yeah, but no, we got DragoThaxton on, talk some of those crunchy stats numbers, and other than that, that's it. That's the episode. Isn't that great? I love it.
Yeah,
absolutely love it. Absolutely adore it. I do. Before we segue to our, do a little cut, totally wearing the same shirt in that interview. Do you want to say this Sunday, the 29th of January in the Lord's year 2023, we are doing our Team Frox Franking game on twitch.tv/community formation, our Twitch channel. We're newly affiliated, Brass. We've done something with our life.
I don't even know what that means.
I say words and they come out of my mouth. I don't even think about them. It's just pure word vomit. That's what word salad happening right before you. Yeah, Brass, before we cut over to the stats, homie, you got anything you would like to talk about?
Oh, I just want to say that I'm excited for Team Frox game because, I mean, Brian's in your group, right?
Yeah.
So it's your turn is what I want to say. All right? It's your turn to get Brian. All right? So.
Oh, my God. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, dude. No. He's in physical pain, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
How does Brian being in our game help Mantis win?
Oh, that one's good. That one's good.
Yeah.
I think that is an enduring joke there.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. Well, we're just going to keep the good vibes rolling, and we're going to take it on over to Articles of War to talk to our homeboy, DragoThaxton.
My man.
All right, folks, we are here. We got our homie back in the house. It feels so good. What's up, Drago, dude? How you doing?
Reunited and
it feels so good.
Dude, boy band.
Oh man. Oof. Listen,
we just need one more and we got our barbershop.
We're a little more color me bad than NSYNC. That's my personal opinion on this. I'm gonna be honest here.
Frox, when you showed that video that one time, I was gonna tell you that I can sing that high.
Oh my God.
I can do that. I was literally a choir boy. Literally.
Oh, that's
I mean, not like when
amazing.
when I was a kid or anything. I mean, like, when I was like in high school and college and shit, I did tons of choir. So, yeah, no, I mean, I won't do it for you just at the drop of a hat, but get me drunk enough, take me out to karaoke, dude. Like, yeah.
Oh, listen.
Hell
yes. By the way, maybe if I make it up there in March, we're doing this.
Oh,
like it's not even a question.
Yeah.
I do want to say one thing. The top YouTube comment on Color Me Bad, I Want to Sex You Up is, I didn't know that Kenny G, George Michael, and Arsenio Hall were all in the same group. I watched this. I was like, oh my God, this is so good. Oh, man.
Wow.
That's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is great. Well, yeah, but buckle on in, folks. We are getting ready for the most excellent and most wonderful segment called Articles of War that you have ever seen. It's tournament season once again. The qualifiers are charging right on through. We have finished 36 games as of mine and Brian's game that just happened the other day. We finished 36 games, and I think we're now at a pretty good point where we can bring on our homie Drago and talk about how the stats are shaking out. Like, what trends are we seeing so far in the qualifiers, and just like a general status check is kind of what
it's been real cool. And I think, as Matt put it the other day in the Discord, we're now officially through the same number of games as the prelims amount will be. So we're like a full notch if you want to measure in terms of like a round of metric. So I agree. It's a good time to kind of dig into these things.
Totally. I mean, it's a lot of players. I mean, it's a lot of games, first of all, but then you multiply that by 6, brother, and that's like a lot of players. That's a lot of different faction picks. The numbers are getting to a pretty healthy, respectable level.
We have quite a bit, And I'll kick it off by saying a comparison to last year is we're seeing factions go in the first 6 more than Slice this year, and then last year was a reverse. People in the first 6 were digging in on Slices, trying to make sure they had a good, solid foundation, and that may be because the Slices were more designed to be mean, and people wanted to make sure they weren't on the outside looking in. And people are happy to play probably a lot more factions now that the game's been out for longer. People have more rounded out their faction toolkit, if you will, in terms of what they can and willing to play.
I do think the level of skill is definitely been elevated. I've watched a number of qualifiers, and we're seeing a lot of first-time winners and a lot of old heads winning too. So I love this community, and I love the display that's being put on every weekend. And some people degenerate and get off on Mondays like I did to cast the whole game, but you get the idea.
Hey, not everyone has a Monday to Friday job, man. Like some people work weekends, man.
No, dude, for sure. And I like the commitment, man. Just finding six homies to hang out with for 10.5 hours and shit post and chat with was really the highlight of my day.
Incredible.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's the next evolution of TTPG is they add a meme chat where you can just send memes as you play.
Don't even get me started, bro. Oh, I will lose my mind if that happens. Daryl, I love you.
Great.
Daryl, do it for the people, Daryl.
I'm emailing him now. Actually, can I fax him? Does he have a fax? Anyone got his fax number?
Yeah, dude.
I love it. Every game that goes by, we're just like finding out more and more that Daryl's like the real MVP of this tournament already.
Absolutely.
More and more. And his whole team. I'm sure there's tons of people behind him and doing other stuff as well. But
totally.
Yeah. There's crazy amounts of awesome.
I think it's worth just taking a moment to keep hyping the boy Daryl. And I just want to say my personal story that I had recently. Like I don't know if I ever want to play another TTS Twilight Imperium game again. I'm not sure. I don't know, maybe there'll be a spot where it's like, oh, we all want to do TTS, then I'll be like the odd person out and say like, okay, fine, whatever. But I streamed that game. It was Patience's game, and I'm kind of blanking on whomever else was in it, but it was like the crazy long grind fest that is like, making me turn into like, maybe
you woke up at 3 a.m. and you were a pumpkin by the end of it.
Dude, I'm blacking out just thinking about it. Is like what's happening. But But anyway, so that was on TTS, and it was like the craziest, weirdest bugs were happening, including like 12 cards out of the Industrial Explorer deck just got deleted. Like, and they were in the deleted items thing or whatever. So it's like we got them back, but it was like all 3 tech skip attachments were deleted, and all the players were searching for the tech skip attachments for some amount of time. So we were just like, what a fucking nightmare. Like, what is going on? Like, and there were just like gremlins in the fucking game.
It's proof that Daryl holds it all together probably more than we know.
Yeah, no, for real. So I was like so confused. Like, I've never had this happen with TTS before.
Absolutely.
And then I played this game with Brian on TTPG, and it was so just like smooth and beautiful. It was just like cruising in a fucking Porsche, like on the Pacific Highway, you know, through fucking like Santa Cruz or some shit. And you're smoking a joint, you're like having a great time. Like it was just like awesome, bro. It was fucking...
As a streamer, it is my preferred thing, and I've only ever streamed one game on TPPG, but like as a viewer and a streamer, that is the best because of the view toolkit that it gives you.
Well, yeah, it has a lot of built-in functionality there. It's actually
and then as a player, it's like back when the mod used to be the new thing for TTS, and everyone's like, oh, you can do this, oh, you can do this. Everyone's finding out those things now that are baked into TPPG, and it's even better. Like I can't remember what it was specifically right now, but I was watching a game and someone's like, oh yeah, you can do this, and everyone's like, wait, what? You can like, you just stop the game for a second, learn about this. Yeah, it's great. It's amazing.
Yeah,
I agree.
No. Shout out to Daryl.
Shout out to Daryl.
Yeah,
and can we just say shout out to our boy Drago for compiling all these stats with his wonderful helper, along with Jasper for getting the fantasy TI stats together. Always a fucking pleasure. And I guess maybe we should focus on what we're doing here as the ADHD man at the table. So Drago, you're up.
No, go for it.
I was just gonna say, man, like we talked a little before we got on air, and you were pointing out some real interesting, like, what's besides just the slices and stuff going early. What's something else you're noticing, like the winner, like what in the first round in the draft? Because you said before, and I'm gonna reiterate, this is Drago's point, that the only really useful data that's not just noise and ridiculousness is probably the draft data. Can we all kind of come to a consensus on that?
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Definitely, and like kind of on that same point with draft data, like the whole winner sheet in terms of like, slice, we're kind of, you can say like, okay, that slice is rich, blah, 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 or that slice is bad. But I think everyone already knows that without seeing data that points that out. Everyone just can visibly look at them. We're seeing a lot more different factions kind of win. I wish I'll look into this and maybe post. I'm getting to enough games and data where I can start doing like at the end of last tournament, I was posting like blurbs about like where we are and like doing like trend lines and stuff like that. And so we're getting to enough data where that's worth a damn. And so, but the one thing that I think points out in like those winner sheets is a winner by draft by speaker position. And that's like where they picked right away.
Yeah.
And we were kind of talking about this just before, but the biggest winner right now is 6. And you would think that's not right.
So fascinating.
It's only by 1 right now because 3 is at 7. So 7 versus 8 to 6. So 3 and 6 are definitely the leaders. But my theory, and I told them this already, is that I think it's because you're guaranteed a better speaker position round 2 no matter what. If you take politics or not, and you're the only person out of the 6 players guaranteed that better speaker position. And I think that's probably lending to it because that second round can be a real advantageous, and you're almost guaranteed a better speaker position in round 3. I mean, like you're like 2 consecutive rounds of increasingly better speaker position can set you up for a really good round 3 and 4, better than other people at least. So that would be the biggest thing. And then if you just look at draft position, so first is at 8 wins. And 6 is at 7 wins. So that's that double pick zone. But once again, 3 is the leader there at 8. So the middle is just kind of getting the sweet spot of the swing of the axe on either way.
Yeah.
And I think they're not really having to compete for anything because they just get to pick right down the middle.
I would say that, like if we were making comparisons to last year, like that's apples to oranges with the new kind of draft stuff. Because last year everything was quote unquote balanced, right? Like they had the faction pools with the curated slices, and like there was a meta being developed, right? So there is that to think about along those lines, and these slices are definitely a little more even. Well, okay, not a little, a lot more even than last year's. So you need to keep all this in mind if you're looking at this in draft data. But that being said, I mean, there is a lot to be said about having a strong draft, picking something you're comfortable with, and picking good speaker position that matters later and maybe not earlier. Because I was looking at this data, at 22% of the winners got custodians, but that means 78% of the people didn't get custodians. Now that's noise, but that is above 1/6 of the table winning. With custodians. But the slice with the highest win rate, No Country for Hope's End, has a supernova blocking the custodians. So
what I think about that is that like the people that are in No Country for Hope's End, like I don't know, either they found like a way to like access Mechatol somehow, which like isn't too hard if like the wormholes are like if wormholes appear or your cabal, like you just get the movement or whatever, or it's more of like an indication of like a rich slice like that can help you more with stage 2s,
and stage 1s. I mean, honestly, if you are a cabal, like who's a surprise, I mean, they have 3 wins this year, guys. Like that's all they had all year last year.
Yeah, the cabal stuff is cool to see, honestly.
Yeah,
because everyone's been talking shit about them, really.
Yeah, no, and I mean, deservedly. I mean, the numbers didn't lie. I mean, I love Cabal. They're in my top 5.
Interesting.
Which is weird to say because I'm the biggest fucking book floater out there, but how that goes. But I think. Yeah,
Cabal's interesting because I mean, like like last year I put up. I try to do this every year because they do this faction ranking. But Matt and Hunter put on their Hootenanny last year, and that was proven to be weird due to whatever faction it was last year. I'd have to look at the sheet, but right now, if we're talking about Volwraith Cabal, they put them at 19.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. Now, based on my bullcrap ELO rating that I'm making up on the spot,
I love it.
Yeah,
give me numbers, Drago. I need them.
I need
my
more.
bullcrap ELO rating. It's only threefold right now. It's wins, points, and then divided by the number of games. So Volwraith is number 4.
I mean,
wins, points,
and they're only behind. They're only behind Mahat, Extra, and Nazroka. And I think we'll agree that Mahat and Nazroka are like deservingly up there because they've been succeeding early. But Volwraith has also been succeeding early. I mean, it's just like Volwraith has 103 points scored.
What?
Oh my God!
Really?
36 games?
And through 36 games, they have 103 points scored. Now let's see how many times they've been played. Where do I have that? I have that right here. Volwraith has been played 14 times.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Yeah.
So people are playing them, and they're
playing the hell out of them, dude.
Yes, they are.
Wow.
The next closest, Argent is still the most played faction. People love picking Argent. Just like they were last year, and that's why they had a terrible win rate, is because they're in every game and they never won.
Totally. Yeah.
But they're at 18 selections.
Muff your ears, by the way.
So I mean, it's crazy. I mean, like the most, but they also have the most points scored because they're in the most games. Argent has 150 points scored.
Goodness gracious! Wow.
Damn. No, that's really interesting. I mean, Quantum put it really well. It's like, who would have thought the faction who has only one side on the board that matters is influenced because they don't care about resources. Wild, right? That they're suddenly doing well. I mean,
Volwraith might be like the opposite of like Necro, in that Necro doesn't care about influence because they can just buy their tokens through tech. Volwraith doesn't care about resources because they can buy their plastic through stolen ships, and they just need to have the tokens to do what they need to do. So it lets you funnel your focus on one thing.
Yeah,
and maybe that's where they're
only so much conjecture can go there, and maybe the aggressive nature of these slices and the poverty of these slices are elevating them. That could be a factor too. I mean, we could go on and on about Volwraith, but right now, honest to God, probably the biggest surprise of the tournament to me. I mean, 36 games, 3 wins. That's, a little under 10% of the wins, but there's 25 factions too.
Yeah, totally.
And only we've already through 36 games, 20 different factions have won.
Wow. That's pretty cool to see,
Yes.
honestly. That's
No.
really, really cool to see.
I think they found lightning in a bottle with this draft format. I know that's true. With that being true, I think that really solidifies that for me because I think it's
totally.
working.
I think the point that they made on, I think their podcast recently was they were saying like it's silly and it starts off the draft in the whole game in a way that like kind of lowers your guard, I think, and people are just willing to be like, okay, hey, like I'm playing a game here. I don't need to focus and try to find the edge. I'm going to play what I want to play because it can get there. And you make some silly, like I love that people are putting all like the bad factions in quotes into the same pool. So then we're all on that boat together if that faction pool gets picked. And we're self-balancing these pools. And I bet you as we get deeper into the tournament and these numbers start compiling and Volwraith starts pulling ahead, Volwraith's going to get put with the mean dogs more.
Oh,
and
sure.
It's going to get, and so it's as the data comes out more and more and we see who gets more and more wins.
Yeah.
It's a self-balancing act.
The meta
along the way.
evolves. Yeah.
Yes.
While we're talking about the draft, I got to say, like, I really enjoy it. Like I started off being like fairly ambivalent about the process. And I was like, okay, it makes sense. Like we're just making these pools and then there's the one in the middle. And then I like, that's cool. You can get a cool one that's in the middle and then it's random anyway. So like whatever. Yeah. But in the process, like I was not stressing too much about the whole thing, but it started to develop at some point. And I think maybe I had Mahawked in my hand or something, but it's like I was choosing like, okay, the commanders for Mahawked.
Yes.
Like there's this pool, there's this pool, there's this other one, there's whatever. In this one, it's like they can have Empyrean commander. They can have Nazroka's commander. They can have Sardak's commander. Sardak was unpicked in the game, but still it's like they were in the pool.
Yeah.
So it just hit this point where I was like, oh man, this feels so right. And got Mahawked in there. And then that's the pool that got picked. And then I drafted Mahawked. And I was like, this is actually tight. Like what I had set up and what I was thinking about is coming to fruition, so I like the draft method, especially after
I've seen a lot of
going through
that's the one thing I've probably watched the most because I have to I track the draft order and everything else I'll skip around to the key parts I need to get. So in seeing a lot of drafts and seeing a lot of building the pool, and I watch that too, people seem to really like when Yssaril is in the middle because it's like, hey, Yssaril just gets the agent of whatever we get.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
But then, or otherwise, it's the building around Yssaril. Like, okay, that person will try to hold Yssaril in their pocket for longer.
Exactly.
Place it at the end to know what they're putting it with.
Exactly.
That's fun.
It's fun. Yeah.
And the other aspect, I know yet again we're restrained from what we set out to, but I love this talk so much. I really enjoy how it sets the tone for the table and negotiations early. Because everyone's like, what kind of factions we going to have? What are we going to do here? It's better television. Two, you can see some people's personalities and preferences.
Sure.
Like in your game, Brass, Brian hardly said anything during the draft, but Port, yourself, Jim, you all spoke up and like, how did that table go? You kind of got to get a vibe of what's going on.
Yeah, no, totally.
Mm-hmm. So that's just my
cool.
2 cents on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, but what's up, Drago?
One thing I want to say is everyone's seemed to really dig Hakan in Synecdoche third pick. That has been played the most times. The third pick specifically. It's been played 4 times.
The pick part is really interesting. But when I streamed Cool Guy's game, like he got that combo, and I was sitting there scratching my beard and looking and thinking, this is a great slice for Hakan. I said that like very, very specifically. Like this is a great slice for Hakan. I'm feeling it. I'm digging it. And then the next game that I streamed, Patience's game, Patience picks Hakan in Synecdoche, and I was like, did he watch the other game and like see me talk about how this is a great slice? How did this happen? And then it happened 2 more times.
You are the prophet we didn't serve. You know?
So what's going on there? I'm so confused.
Why is it doing well? I mean, I don't know. Like I haven't dug in. I haven't even played a practice game yet. And my tournament game's in like a week and a half.
Oh man.
Which is probably a bad thing. But so I haven't looked at the slices deeply enough yet. So I would just imagine that Is it have the most planets in it at least, or is that what it is? Like they're able to.
It's the
deal
one
it
with
around?
Semlor, right?
Okay.
Well, that's the answer.
Wait, no, is it? Wait, is it that? Wait.
No.
No, I
have no
think it
fucking clue,
is.
man.
I think it is. Is the one Semlor? It's the one with the alpha asteroid field. It got the alpha?
I'm sorry, buddy.
Okay,
I'm not
all
looking
right,
right now.
All right.
I
Well,
gotta look at it over there.
All right,
There's
we're
just
totally
something
not going to leave
about
this in
it.
the episode, right? Right? Synecdoche, New Albion, yes. Alpha Asteroid Field,
And
Semlor,
Semlor, I told you.
Saldor,
Semlor.
and Starpoint, New Albion.
Starpoint, New Albion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a solid slice.
It's a solid.
little low on the
It's just
influence,
solid,
but hey,
yeah.
to quote Space Lore, Khan don't need planets. They got money.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and those are like good planets. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It's just like a good
Mhm.
planet. You don't have to worry about teching anti-mass to use that wormhole. You know, you get to Semlor. Maybe you're rich enough where you can use Semlor for the yellow skip to get to Quantum Data Hub node.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think.
Interesting.
That's what I
Yeah.
think.
I would agree. I would
Yeah.
agree. On the topic of like building these faction pools, try to circle back, but I just did a quick pivot table just to see real quick, and there has not been the same pool built twice yet, including the random middle one. Excluding that random middle one, it might be different, and I there will definitely be a duplicate before the end. That's almost impossible not to.
Sure.
People seem to be pretty unique. Sorry to circle back to that, but
Why? No, that's fantastic. And both games I've streamed have had Mintak as the middle faction.
oh really?
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
that is like such a fucking curse, dude. Like,
I
having
mean, both
Mentak.
games have been over
Yeah.
9 hours, but
Yeah,
they
for
also both
sure.
gotten around 5 with over an hour left.
Totally.
So
Wait, no, I'm sorry. I said I would never talk shit about Mentak again. Is what I said.
yeah, actually, I have a
during
clip of it, and it's fucking in the archives. By the way,
All right, I'll redact my previous statement. Yeah.
And Mentak seems to like No Countries from Hope's End either too. 3 times they've been played, and 2 of those have been winners.
Oh.
well,
Okay.
get their mechs out early. No one can really mess with their planets at all.
No
No
for
one
real.
can meaningfully do it.
The mechs
Those
are-
mechs are
pick too.
brutal.
First round, 6 pick.
Wow.
Oh, that feels real bad for them, and they won. Wow.
All 3 times they've had that, and they've won twice with that same.
That's
Build.
wild.
Damn.
Incredible.
The mechs
yeah.
for them is pretty dirty, I would say.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Well, Drago, it has been awesome having
yeah.
you on today, and quite frankly, see you next time around, my man.
Absolutely,
Plenty
dude.
of more tidbits and more cash money action. You know what's going on.
Oh, cash money. We're in the club.
Keep it rolling.
Yes, sir. That was his and I's alliance team name because I was
Oh.
Jolnar and he was Barony, and we printed that money,
Ah.
friends.
Yeah, it came online really late and
Yeah.
too late, frankly, but it was good.
But it was
You
good.
had the worst secrets I've ever seen.
Oh, that was bad.
We would have won if you had literally one scoreable secret by round
Yeah.
4. Anyways, we're done. We're not going to talk about that. I'm not reliving trauma. My therapist and I have talked about this.
I talked to
Drago,
my
It's been
Hey.
real, guys.
Hey,
I've
I
enjoyed
love
it.
you, buddy.
Love you, dude. We'll see you next time. We got plenty more of this coming up for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good talking.
Mhm.
Yeah, dude. So you know what time it is, bro.
Oh, God, please tell me what time it is. I live for this moment in time.
Oh, it's time for Brassbird's Mega Meme Center is the time. Your favorite part of the show. I did it for you once again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did you think I was
He
going to
did
hold
this
out
for
on
you.
Well,
listeners.
for you, but also for Frox because he enjoys it that much, right? Yeah. No.
Listen, the
totally.
first part of the show that gets made, just so everyone can be very clear, is
Oh, yeah.
actually the interview with the speaker, but we don't talk about that. It's the Mega Meme Center.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
the
yeah.
first thing that gets put together, and it's the
Mhm.
most important, and it's the most amazing, and we're just
Really
gonna
the heartbeat
jump.
of the episode.
Yeah, no joke. And we're gonna
Mhm.
jump right in. Meme number 1. This one, it like is a little bit of an inside joke, right? But if you've seen us talk about our homeboy Jadim Jedi at all, then you know what we're talking about, and he is a fiend for the technology. So
And and let it be known, he's not just a fan of like technology in general. He's a fan of each individual tech.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
He's a stand
man.
for every single
Mhm.
tech that exists. Yeah.
Mhm.
So this one was made by Brian. I got a bunch of Brian in this one for whatever reason, but this one was just more or less a requirement, and he just posted it on Megameme Center and said, like, this has got to be in the pod. And I said, yeah, absolutely it is. No question. I'm not going to argue with you. That's just what's going on. So here it is, my boy, the most interesting baby Yoda in the world. Always double
with his
teching.
nuggies.
With his nuggies. Wait, hold on. I didn't even notice the nuggies the first time. What's the joke with the nuggies?
Oh, dude, his nugs was instead of guac. You eat your nugs, and then each different sauce is each different type of guac.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah, dude, like Shard of the Thrones, your honey mussy.
Shut up.
Yeah, the custodians, your barbecue. You know what I'm talking about. You got different flavors of it.
Oh my fucking God. Wow.
Yeah,
how hilarious is that? I'm fucking dying. Wow. So that has been meme number 1. Meme number 2, flopping over.
Sorry.
Yeah.
This is a good week, man.
This is a good one. This is a good, like, multi-stage meme coming to you. So
we've all been there.
Yeah.
It's a little too relatable. This
is from Sarbor on the Obligatory Memes channel on the Async TI Discord.
Sarbor, Louisville native.
Oh, word! I did not know that.
Yeah,
dope, dope. But this one is just absolutely hilarious, and Async just kind of be like that sometimes.
Sometimes
bro.
you think it'd be like it is, but it do.
But it is.
Oh my God.
Necro starts a new game with cooler people. Like, really, it's the last panel that fucking really does it, dude.
Oh, man.
This one got me so good. Like, this one got me so good. It's so funny. Man. Yeah. And keeping the good times rolling, we're flopping over to a number 3. We flopping.
Okay, I want to interrupt you and ask, how can I report a fucking meme? Because like I'm in this photo and I don't like it. Okay, like I feel called out and I'm hurt.
Is this the one where you were
like, some things in life?
Yeah, this is the one you said like you have a response for this one.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Oh yeah. I literally was like, oh fuck this game.
Yeah.
No, I'm literally. That's like me in my game that Spoon and I reference later. Like I'm the one overeating glue in the corner while everyone else fights for something because I'm just useless.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The L1 Trash 1X. The L1 Trash 1X MindNet. No. You said L1 Z1X Trash Net.
Yeah.
That one time. No, that's what it was. That's a funnier way to say it. No, totally. But man, it's sad because you just want them to be better, but they're not.
Yeah. You can't put together why they're not. You know, we just talked with Drago about why Cabal maybe put it together suddenly, maybe confluence of events, and L1 Z1X will get that little can of dust spray out and get their processors cleaned up and get rolling. But
only one way to find out. Man.
No, not really. You don't want to find out. It's kind of like, never mind. I know you're an Arborex fan. I'm not going to go down this road. Anyways.
Well, I'm not going to yell at you about it or anything. I'm not that kind of Arborex stand. Come on now. All right. We're going to meme number 4. Oh, wait. No, I didn't even say it. Hold on. No, this one's from Oddwaller on the Obligatory Memes channel. I had to say that one.
Oh, I interrupted you there. Oddball is a great meme, but it really spoke to me, but not in the ways I want to be spoken to. It whispered in my ears while I was sleeping.
Yep. He's very disturbed now. Thank you, Oddwaller. Going to meme number 4. So this is another one of Brian's on Meme Town. He kind of went off. As we say, he popped off a little bit. And posted a series of memes. And this one was like related to the qualifier that I just played with him, kind of, but it's also an obvious reference to Pillagegate. And it's like we should do an entire segment on Pillagegate or something. But like it's
man,
like
we gotta have RYs on. Oh my god, dude! Just stoke the flames. Literally,
Oh
the
my
ultimate pot stir, R-wise,
No,
comes
my
on.
God, dude.
We don't have anyone who's like relevant or has like a real opinion. We just have him stirring the
Dude.
pot and us getting all riled up about it. I would love it.
You wouldn't download an anti-pillage token, would you? Literally the funniest fucking line in the entire chat for the game. But
Oh
yeah,
my God,
so like it's Brian's like Muat, and he's literally neighbors with Mentak, and he essentially like vassalizes Mentak and gets the promise of protection, and every single
He did pay fires for it. For
Oh,
what
sure,
it's worth.
sure.
By
He
the
did
way,
get
I don't want to say
fires.
Brian's like mind controlling this guy.
No, totally. So it was a trade, but even that, I'm like, I like looked over and I just rolled my eyes, like, okay, here we fucking go again. Like, here he's fucking getting promise of protection for this bullshit, you know? Like, come on, dude. And then the rest of the game.
Mintak built a war sun.
Yeah.
That may
I
or
hear
may
you.
not have cost them the game, but anyways.
No, I hear you. But the funniest part is that literally for the rest of the game, Brian's gaining trade goods from his commander, and he's like, "I announce that I got a trade good from my commander," and he's not going to pillage at all. It was so funny, dude.
Yeah,
it was literally so funny.
Oh, that's so good.
Man,
that is so good.
Yeah, and then the funny story about this meme specifically is that Spoon was complaining that there weren't enough memes about the game for his viewing pleasure and enjoyment. So then we were like kind of brainstorming, and I said like, "Oh, see, nobody cares, like blah blah blah, like, oh yeah, that's an easy one that I can make for Spoon." And then Brian just goes and makes it before me, you know, like steals my thunder.
My favorite thing is like after he complained, you and Brian ripped off like 8 memes each within like 40 minutes. It was sick.
Yeah, no, totally. He caused
real talent at work.
Caused a meme storm is what he did.
We were at the eye of the meme.
The eye of the meme storm, exactly. All right, and meme number 5 coming straight at you. This one is from my boy Frodo on Meme Town.
Oh, that's so good.
This one is more of like a public service announcement than it is
kind of PSAs. Let Brass sleep. That's what this should say. Let Brassbird sleep.
Exactly. Let me sleep. Let me like actually have a normal schedule instead of like trying to dive on the football and like something like that. But no, I just thought the shop job on this was like really good. Yeah, I mean, like this one photo of Matt's face could work for so many memes. It's incredible.
His eyes are staring straight into my soul.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. So, and it's like the placement with like the Uncle Sam little goatee beard or whatever is just like perfectly right on. The composition is perfect. Yeah. Extremely well done, Frodo.
Oh, I'd give it a 6.9 out of 6.9. Absolutely.
On the Frock scale, 69 out of 69. Oh my goodness. Love it. And don't you know, we've got a bonus meme for you today. We have a bonus meme. It's happening. It's right here. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. This one's not the bonus meme, but actually, no, check it out. It's a 2-part bonus meme because I get to show you the origination and then the response. So,
hot dog.
So this one was from me, and I was just memeing on, you know, just whatever bullshit. And then Vaunt PDX comes in, the legend, at the perfect time. Gotta fix it here.
Oh, you're totally good, dude. This is God.
There it is. Oh, Kent, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't posting text in Meme Town. I was tipping my hat to Vaunt PDX with the Homer Simpson meme. Then he just comes back like a fucking legend with the other Homer Simpson meme, the actual one, the deserved right one.
Yeah.
He said, here's how it's done, kid.
Oh
That's
my
what he
God,
said.
dude. He kind of put you in your place, man. I'm just gonna come out and say it.
No, totally. I mean,
He
like
kind
he's
of did, man.
Well, that's
it's
what
like
I'm
the
saying.
old gun coming out, the big kid in town, puts him in his place, and
Yeah.
you know what, dude? You don't run. You're the clown in meme town still.
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
totally.
Just coming back and saying it.
Yeah, no, totally. It was incredible to see, and that's why it deserves to be the bonus meme for what has been a most wonderful Brassbird's Mega Meme Center. Thank you for joining us today for that. Yeah. Yeah. Do you got anything to say before we talk to our boy?
You know, I just want everyone to know that I bear nothing but animosity towards this man, and whatever I say in this interview is a lie.
Don't even get him started about the async game. Don't even get him started. Yeah. Absolutely hilarious.
Also, Spoon, this is where you finish your dishes so you can listen to your own interview. So pause for a minute, finish the dishes, open a beer, drink it.
Press.
You're good, my man.
Play. Welcome. This is a very special and amazing and wonderful interview. We're here with the man, the myth, the legend, HolyTispoon, the only reason why Frox and I have a show that we do for your listening pleasure is because of this guy right here. Teaspoon, how are you, my babe, my boy? I was gonna say my boy, my babe. You're my everything.
I'm doing well. Psyched. I have to say, haven't been doing as many dishes recently, so I need to catch up on your show.
You know, the great thing is there's not much to catch up on because we haven't been putting out too many episodes, buddy.
Well, I still have a few, but I, just love listening to your beautiful voices. And the fact that you've incorporated actual memes into the show elevates it even to the next level. So I don't actually allow myself to listen to it on the podcast because, then, I miss an integral, the heart of the show.
Yeah,
is where your voices meet the memes. Yeah,
sure. Where voice meets meme, it's a pure nexus point of what we're about here.
Totally.
Absolutely.
No, it is absolutely a big part of the show. And just to give you a peek behind the curtain, I told this to JJ one time, and I told him when I'm putting stuff together to actually get the show together and published and whatever, and even before Frox and I record the main segments at the beginning or whatever, the first thing that happens is I go and find the memes for the Megameme Center, and I get them saved on my computer in this file, and then I upload them to that channel on the Discord, and I categorize it, and I pin it, and I put it into the thing with the software. I do all of that before as kind of the first step of the production. I mean, for this episode, this interview is actually the first step of the production.
Typically, this is what we do: is the interview first. We backfill.
Totally.
And it's the meme that like the rug in Big Lebowski, they tie the room together.
Exactly.
They really
exactly. Wow.
Man, I think I'm gonna go to Lebowski Fest this year. You boys should come. It's a good time.
Dude, that'd be so tight. Are you kidding?
Yeah, dude, it's here. This is where Lebowski Fest is.
That is lovely. That is awesome.
Tight.
It's actually fucking awesome.
Incredible. Incredible. So we have Spoon on the show today.
It's my dream, by the way. It's a dream come true for me.
Oh, I know. I know.
I canceled tomorrow. I was like, Thursday, I'm not showing up. Thursday. I don't have anything. I'm not showing up to the day. This is just.
This is it.
This is it. But yeah,
my great moment.
We hope we live up to your dream, man.
You already are. I'm already on cloud nine. Don't you see? My eyebrows are on their own frequency.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's incredible. So we have Spoon on the show. The tagline that we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about the PBD tournament and probably just going to be talking about all sorts of async TI related stuff because Frox and I are addicts of the async server. I
prefer the term enthusiast.
Enthusiasts.
Thank you. I can quit when I want to. Okay.
Thank you very much. But
we on the industry, on the insider, we call you super users.
Yes, a fellow super user. I see.
That's good. So we're going to be talking about that as the main thing, but obviously there is so much to talk about because let's face it, Spoon was there at the beginning. At the beginning, the genesis of our whole situation.
Well, he's really the pin that holds this whole thing together.
Yeah, no, exactly. When
kingpin.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh man, Spoon's in on it.
He's on it.
The spoon pin. I'm just a spoon.
Yes.
Dying, I love it. Keep going, please.
So the backstory. I mean, like not a lot of people know like of the deep and dark and storied history of our time together. But it was all the way back in last year, like
March
spring.
19th, 2018.
What?
2022.
Wait,
March 19th, 2022.
Like 2018.
No, 2022.
Yeah,
sorry, but
exactly.
that was my first day on the community Discord.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We all met. We were. It was Community Game 2. We were all on the Empyrean team. And we just, I don't know, we really got the superlative as a team. We got the superlative for like had the most fun. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
We did not win the game, but we made we made the best memes. First of all, made the best memes of anyone. Had the best lore posts. You know what I mean? Like we had created an entire like ecosystem of lore and characters, and we had like Biotic putting the bat masks on everything. You know what I mean? Like we just had like the best situation in that game.
The flag, the best flag.
Exactly. The flag, which is like now like the little server icon, kind of like it's, we got this. Huh?
Did I let you all know that I'm up to season 19 of Bob the Builder? By the way, I was watching that on Monday.
Wow.
Yeah, really making moves through it. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Can we fix it? Yes, we can. Yeah,
well,
can we fix?
I don't think I can be fixed.
I don't think we
much
can
Bob
fix
the Builder,
Frost,
guys.
though.
I think I'm gone.
Oh my God. So that's really where we established this friendship, established this rapport. And after the game ended, we just all looked at each other and said, we need our own server. Like we're
still hanging out, right?
We're still gonna hang out. We're still gonna hang out, right? Like, hey, we should get like split sessions together. Like, hey, we should just like bullshit and hang and whatever. So we made like what we just originally called like the Bat Captains server or like whatever it was. It was just like, this is for the Bat Captains or whatever. And there's just like like half a dozen of us or something. Just like
there were 8 of us.
Yeah,
it was me, you, Prepara, Old Man GI, Spoon. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking here. Nugget. 6.
Yeah.
Old Wolf 7.
Wolf, yep.
There was one more. We invited Finn.
Oh.
No, it was Finn.
Susan.
No.
It was Susan.
Susan, that's
word.
Susan was 8. Yeah, that was the 8.
Totally.
Yeah.
So we had this original crew, and just like just because we were just
and we
hanging
played
out with
TI,
people, and
we
just
played some
TI.
split sessions.
We did,
and then
we literally did.
We stopped playing TI, and you started doing some other thing. Who knows what? And now it's like
Well, honestly, we stopped playing TI because we met on Thursdays at 11 p.m. and I went to bed at 2 in the morning every time.
Yeah.
And Fridays are my 12-hour.
I mean, it was very untenable. It was honestly the best.
Biotic woke up at like 4 a.m. to play with us.
Prepara was like
he's on work calls in Japan. Like
during the day on Friday,
Japanese in the background. It was so funny.
It was funny. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But no, I mean it was great.
It was great.
It was great.
It was great.
It was a great. It was a great group, great vibe, and it was real fun.
And
at the time, Brassbird did not want to join the async server. Like I was like, come on. I
was on there before him.
Yeah, that's right. Because I invited you all to come and come play. And when you all came, I opened the meme channel, the obligatory meme channel. And,
I love that name so much.
That first post, I was like, "Hey, Biotic, hey, Frog, look, there's a meme channel." And I was trying to tag Brassbird, but he was like, "Nah, I ain't joining the server." Of course, when he knew that when he eventually will, there would be no going back.
It'd be game
Y'all
over, son.
got any more of those async games?
Yeah.
got any more of those?
Game over, son. I mean, I knew I was gonna get like really into it, obviously, and I tried to hold off as best as I could, and then just dove right in. And yeah, I haven't looked.
Was
back.
your first game? Wasn't it Fog of War?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Oh,
that's
so
how
you
you
were-
reeled me
yeah.
in. That's how you reeled me in. You're
Yeah.
like, I need you to test this Fog of War thing, and I was like, well, I
Oh,
kind of
gosh.
want to. Okay.
My first 3 async games were 15, 17, and 29.
Wow.
Now I'm in. Hold on, let me scroll because 307.
Yep.
I'm in 307 now,
Yep.
and I mean it hadn't even been a year.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
I joined the async server in February of 2022, so
Wow.
less than a year ago.
Wow, it has just exploded in that amount of time.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, well, I
incredible.
mean that's a pretty big niche to fill in, though, don't you think? Like
Well,
like
I mean,
the
I can tell
async-
you the beginning of the async server, which kind of maybe of a little bit of interest. So, we were playing on forum on BGG primarily, and when I say we, there was a group of people that were playing a lot on it, and Buckfast Bill was on there, and Saren.
Love Ruby, love Bill, love Saren.
Yeah, and of course, Somno and Tortero.
Mhm.
And Somno was like one of the big hosts. He would moderate a lot of games. He's a great map maker. He would make these fun, crazy maps.
He's totally a great map maker. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He fucking loves bugs. By the way, I don't know if y'all do that. He fucking loves bugs.
Did not know that about him.
Every
Interesting.
post in 79, he's like, bugs fucking love activating Techran, Torcran, like stuff like that. Like, it's so funny.
Yeah,
Every time you make a deal with him, he's just like, bugs fucking love trade goods.
Oh
Anyways.
my goodness. Wow.
He's real cool.
Yeah.
He plays very chill, but at the same time he does not give a fuck about anything. Like, he could do it. But anyway, so Somno was like, we were running these games, and games were really slow. And I say really slow, like they were like a year would be a good pace of a game.
Yeah.
It was like, and we were playing this 8-player game right when POK came out.
Oh my
And
god.
Petero was in it. It was like some of the Australians crew was there. It was, by the time it ended mostly because like half of the people had passed the round, and they were like, it's not going to be over this round, and half of the people didn't like, and the other Yasaro basically just stole everybody and had the win, and nobody realized it can even be possibly over this round. Anyway, so it was like, it was great. It was the only way we could do it. But I had wanted to start a Discord server. I was actually talking to what's his name? The checkered.
Big checker guy. Humble checkmate?
Yeah, the humble check.
Humble checkmate, the checkered checkmate. Humble checkmate. And he was like, we've been playing with Discord, it's great. So I was like, I'm going to start a Discord server, but I can't now. Semester, and like always, you have excuses. Somno goes ahead and starts a Discord server just to ping people.
Oh,
That was the idea. I know why.
Bugs fucking
I know
love
why he did
Discord
it, yeah.
servers. I get
We
that.
started an Alliance Championship, which was horrible. But we started it on BGG. I can do, it's the worst idea ever. I did it. I still have on my whiteboard here. Like, I divided we did this like crazy draft. It was real fun, and of course, it was like a total disaster. We had like 3 tables of 6 players, and Somno started the server because he was like, let's ping people. Just use it to ping, because people respond to Discord better than they do to Board Game Geek Forum.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, well, I was on the server. I found myself like, why are we pinging people here? Like, people started negotiating on the Discord because they were like, it's easier. People are online. You can message them. You can tag them. I was like, why are we here? And we're still doing it on, Board Game Geek. We would be doing, let's do it like, so I started at PBD number 1. And PBD number 1, it was like me. I was like, I bet I can find. I was like, let's try to play without a mod. That was like the goal. I found Discord. It had like card decks, and I was like, let's make all the card decks this way, and I'll hold the game on Tabletop Simulator. I'll take screenshots of it, and I'll upload it to that was PBD number 1. And Totoro was on PBD number 1. He was like, why is bot not doing agenda cards correct? I was like, well, they don't have a put on the bottom. They don't have. You can't insert a card into a deck secretly and also shuffle it. If you shuffle a card into the deck, it is shown to everybody what you've shuffled. So you can't do secret objectives this way. And he was like, very bad. I do better, bot.
I can. Yeah. Yep.
You can see him
Literally,
typing that.
Then
yeah.
he did. Yeah. It was like, why do you do TTS? Can't see the units. Okay, well, what do you want me to do? The resolution is not great. Because she's like, very bad. I make them up.
Yep.
The first bot iteration was basically just a map. You put units on, you did everything manual. And then he was like very unhappy with the agenda deck. It was all driven by him. Then I did like, I have a lot of ideas, features. I wrote this document. It was like, don't care. I do it my way. That's how we did it. It was great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Someone was starting to say,
I love him.
someone was like, look, you're doing it. Like, we started this. People were like, can we start another one? PBD2, PBD3. And then someone was like, I don't know what you're doing, but there's a lot of headaches. I get pings for admin all the time. Why don't you take this server? I don't know what. So he basically passed ownership to me around then. There was like PBD 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe, which we're still doing mostly TTS screenshots, even up to 6, PBD 6. And then like Tertero just got really into it. He just got like,
he hit his
so
stride.
hot.
Yeah.
He was like, that's a challenge. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he and I basically started joining a ton of games. And that was kind of the joke in the beginning. When 15, 17, because I was in 17.
You were in 17 with me, yeah.
Yeah, and 33. Like those games I had like
17's when the Codex came out.
Yeah, 17 was the one.
Yeah.
We found excuses and then when that kind of when it was like he was like, I need to get this functionality complete. I want the game to be complete within my bot. I don't want anyone to have to do anything external. That was like the driving force. And if you see like the recent additions, and I need to like write a post about it, some other people have like coming in and contributed more recently. They make things prettier, nicer, more user friendly.
Oh, I love the emojis.
Tertero was like, yeah. Tertero doesn't care about these things.
Yeah.
Tertero is like, function good. You get it done. I was like, you can't like. Why is there like all these like semicolons in between things? It's like he doesn't care about these things. It works. Gives you the card. You can read it. So that was basically how it all started. I was like, I started a ton of games. I like was playing in a lot of games. I got a lot of things, a lot of bug reports. And Tertero started seeing like, oh, Teaspoon is like, he's consistent. Like he covers these things. So he started being like relying on me. And I also was the one gathering all like I was the first bot helper. Like it was like that was just me. Right? And I would be like, oh, this is how you do this. So we started seeing like I would gather these like people's problems and maybe you should do it this way. Maybe like for example, the move units command. That was my idea. That was like the first thing Terter listened to me because what he had was remove unit and add unit. That's what it was at first. I was like, can you make one? We could do both at the same time. That was basically it. And then afterwards, like add a command counter or whatever. So yeah, that's kind of how the server started. And then, June, July, Community Game 2, and then Bort going to talk to Matt and Hunter on the show and mentioning us was like a deluge of people entering. And then, and then, from there on, it's like it kind of grew and grew.
Yeah, totally. It is just insane the amount of activity that's on the server now, just the number of games. It's amazing to me how quickly a game fills up. Like on a post on organizing games will get filled up in like 30 minutes or something.
It's unbelievable. Like I literally like can't even go on there. I'm like, do I even want to get into another game?
Because it will happen like instantly. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
PBD 310 has already started, and we have 192 active games.
What?
Now that's a little inflated because Fog of War. So maybe it's like because Fog of War has all these like additional like individual maps,
stuff,
but it's basically like 150 games simultaneously happening right now.
Yeah.
And we've had, I know not all of them finish, but we've had so before the server, when Hunter was saying I was playing in my head, he was mostly right. Like I played the in-person game of Twilight Imperium. The last one I played was in like 2019. Literally before that.
COVID,
Word.
Yeah, and then my daughter was born and all that. And then I was playing like 2 or 3 simultaneous Board Game Geek forum games that like I would play 2 games, maybe would finish in a year. I've played dozens of games in the last year.
Yeah.
It's and that's like a whole different, now I'm in now when I talk to people like that who play a lot on TTS or TPG or whatever, I'm like, Now I know what I'm talking about. Like, you know.
Well, as someone who's played a lot of games with you, your play style's definitely evolved over the past year. I mean, my own personal one is as well, but so like you can just tell like experience is definitely flowing through. Like I think this is a big tool for people, and I think people need to start using it.
Yeah.
More to like, because I mean the average age of the hobby is definitely on the higher side, I'd say.
Oh sure.
Like for like, you know, like 20s, like late 20s and like I'd say 20s to 50s, right? Like late 20s to 50s is probably like the average hobbyist age for this. So totally. I think async like the perfect way to kind of stopgap it, because like not everyone's a Big Al or a Bam Bam or who can get like a Pizza JJ who have like a weekly group that comes over and plays. You know what I mean? So it's kind of do. I mean, I play IRL twice a year, maybe. Yeah. So that's just my 2 cents on it. And I mean, you get really good at negotiating.
Oh, totally.
Really good at negotiating in async. Really good, or really good at fucking flaming people for 6 hours straight, like I am.
Yeah, guilty as charged. I've been there.
We've been there. We all been there.
I don't think I've ever flamed you, Brass. I've just activated you.
Oh no, sure. No, I was telling this funny story, like I was explaining, because you know it's like we've had our spats, you know what I mean? Like we've had our spats, and I was explaining it to someone else, and I was like, you know what? Honestly, like I just like love Teaspoon. You know, he's like a family member to me. He's like a brother, an uncle, a father that I never had, you know what I mean? And when you really think about it, Teaspoon, Frox, and myself, we make for an angry old like married thruple or something. You know what I mean? Like that's 100% us, dude. Like
I was born a curmudgeon. I was like a curmudgeon as a teenager.
I was raised by wolves.
Oh my god.
I was raised by wolves. It's true. I repeat myself. That's the whole thing. Yeah, Brass. I was honestly, if we're doing like a group therapy session.
Oh sure. Yeah. Hit us.
Sounds great. We're having a good time here.
Sure. You know, I was like really caught kind of by surprise and unaware by our spats in some ways. Like I feel like with you and me, so it's a little different with Frox. Frox, I feel like I stepped on his toes in a couple of times the wrong way, and I'm like, I learned my lesson, and you know,
you did it again like a month ago, you asshole.
What did I do? No, that
was different. That was different this time.
The difference was when I did that, I was like, I know what I'm doing. I know how this is going to happen.
That's fair.
And if you look at what I wrote there, I was like cool as a cucumber. I was like, yeah, you're right. I was a jerk. I never once was like trying to be like,
yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's
true.
a jerk
that
move.
Is true.
I know, you know, this is what happened. But you know, with Brass, I was like, I feel like there was a lot more like, oh, we're joking around, we're having fun. Flip the switch, like actually, this is like.
Dude, Spoon, can I tell you something? That wasn't a flip switch. That was a cold and calculated move. We talked about that for like a week before he did it. Yeah.
No. That him taking my home system. That is fine. That I know he was planning.
Oh, okay.
I think this is the thing. I think for Brass, there was a lot of misunderstanding around it. That was never the source of my salt in that game. And I was super salty. So that's not me trying to. When you did that, I was like kind of excited. I was a little giddy because I was convinced I'm going to take it back. And I also thought that was my only chance to get your token because you were like, you know, that's why I didn't want to pay for that. There are other things that like entered into this game. Oh, by the way, of course, it was like that was short-sighted because I didn't see that like Mantis is going to abuse this opportunity.
Oh, dude. Mantis
basically
with the left
get
hook.
Me tilted.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But yeah, I just think like, you know, it was kind of a misunderstanding of where we were like just joking around, teasing each other, where we were like messing with each other real good. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, definitely, you know, my wife was like, who's Brassbird? Is he like your TI crush? Like, are you gonna run away from me?
I get it.
With like your online bird. I was like, who's this bird?
Who's this online bird of yours?
Oh, yeah, because bird, it's a euphemism for a hot young single in your area.
Yep.
Well, in Britishism for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we had our ups and downs. The medium. This is another thing about
about async. I was just gonna say that is that like when everything is over text, like it is really easy to get wires crossed. It is really easy for something to be intended as a joke to not be taken as a joke. I think that's why I'm like I get so like really over the top and to say like animated with all the GIFs that I post and everything, and I feel like that's
I think like
unambiguous about stuff.
Wyatt put it the best. It's like, if something gets fucked up in a game, you're not in there for 8 hours. You're in there for 3 months.
Oh, for sure.
With this person you're mad at.
For sure.
Oh, I mean, that's
true.
In 200, I'm like mad at Spoon and I'm mad at Jolnar. Wyatt's mad at Jolnar too, so we're gonna eliminate Jolnar.
I'm mad at Jolnar too. I'm with you on that. We're on this alliance now. I was the one who said let's eliminate Jolnar.
Well, he just took Star Home System for no fucking reason after stalling leadership. So yeah, we're gonna wipe him out. Like,
wow.
Yeah. We got your back. We're gonna turn this around and become great friends. But no, the thing is, I mean, at about 200, like I was literally telling Baldrake, the Frox is next to me. This is a really rough situation for both of us because of the map and whatever. There's this equidistance. If we start
it's
down
a Cohen-Jolier.
Yes, it is.
By the way,
and if we start down this path with Frox, it's gonna be bad forever. Like this is what I told him, and so this was like part of the calculation. But yeah, it's for 3 months, but at the same time, it's like especially PBD 200, which will never end, and it's like slower than death.
Not on me anymore. By the way, not
on you. But, it's like it's a minute. It's like 2 minutes a week of your time, or it's like it's easier for you to like detach yourself in some way. But it's Brass. It's not just that it's like all written. Of course, though it is. That's a big impediment. It's like you catch people in between things and they write when they shouldn't because they're mad about something else, or they're stressed, or they're busy, or like Visor John telling me, "Oh, I was busy last night, so I played this card. Can I take it back?" It's like, well, don't play the card. It's too it's too late now. In some ways, like information has been revealed or whatever. I didn't sub it. That's like a big deal. And I've done it myself, like with Mantis. Like he baited me. He has a super clever move. He did a great move, and I stupidly. And I'm like, I was in a great position that game. Totally tanked my game not because I made like the mistakes I made were, of course, because of them. But I should have done I can't think about this now. Mantis is like a 4D chess player. I need to not engage this right now and think about it later. But that's not what I did. I did this back and forth. I looked at the map on my phone. It was wrong. I counted wrong. Like my cruisers couldn't get there without the rift. All this stuff, and I think that happens a lot too. You catch people in between. You get this like energy that comes from other things. People message late at night when they're tired, when and this is another thing that's really cool and also terrifying about async. Like I've had some people tell me like, I was in the hospital, I couldn't really move and do something. This was so great. I'm so grateful you started the server. This is like cool. And at the same time, it's like you don't really know where people are, right? Like what's going on with them. Like you're messing around, you're shooting the shit, you feel like, oh, this person has been really friendly. And then sometimes you're like, you can push someone who's like in a really bad place and like I've been in a place like feeling really bad after. Like, what have I done? Like, this crossed the line. And with you guys, I now feel much more comfortable. Like you can push it a little bit more. Yeah. But you're literally the only people whose faces I've seen. And even that. Yeah.
No, for sure. I get that.
For real.
Yeah, we're like real. Like it. Yeah. The pet channel, the Pet Pigs channel helps me there though, because I know they care about their animals. People who post there, I kind of trust a little more. That's all I'm going to say. So if you want me to trust you in the async game, post your pet pics. Yeah. That's like an honest to God. And I'm just saying.
If you don't have a pet, then he doesn't trust you.
Fuck, man, I don't have a pet right now, and I don't trust myself. This is the fucking worst.
For sure. So before we get going and talking more about like the main course of the discussion, I wanted to just cap off that little history lesson from earlier and say that, and really explain why Spoon is so central to Frox and I's like whole identity with this show, is because back in the day when we were doing our splits, we were hanging out in the evening on the voice chat and everything, and doing drafts for the games and whatever. And Frox and I would just bullshit like we always have done, like since the beginning. And Spoon made this offhand comment of, you guys should have a show. You guys should have a podcast or something. And it literally was just this offhand joke, but at some point we took him seriously enough to actually do it. So what I say all the time, and I will stand by this, is that the only reason that we have a show is because Spoon needs something to listen to while he does the dishes.
It's actually true.
And it's actually true, and it's actually serious. And
I thought it was already in the works. I didn't know that my comment was.
No. I just commit to the bit. I can't not commit to a bit, Spoon. So like, don't ask me to solve world hunger because I'm gonna be fucking trapped. Okay.
And as always,
I'm humbled.
As always,
but I was serious. I was like, I thought you were like, you were talking about, I think, Slay the Spire or something.
Oh, sure.
Or so. And I was like, oh, I haven't played this game, but I heard about it. I know it exists. And then I was like, I'm like so fucking interested in this game now that they're talking about it. This was it was so cool. So I was like, oh yeah, I could listen to that. Like, so it was like a sincere compliment. Yeah.
Really appreciate that. As always, I was the reluctant one, where Frox came to me and he's like, so we're actually going to do this show like Spoon wants, right? And I was like, I don't know, like, what are you talking about? Like, what would we do?
And then I pulled my wallet out. Just kidding. And showed him it was empty and said, please, I need this.
Please, I need something in my life. And we just like started doing it, and it's been so fun. And my favorite part about it has just been being able to meet and talk to all of the amazing, beautiful people in the community. And it's just become like my personal way to give back to this community that I love and appreciate so much, and that has helped me through some really rough times, honestly. Like, speaking in a very genuine way.
Same.
So we're just here, just giving back love and appreciation is all we're doing. And I want to thank you, Spoon, for like, unintentionally pushing us into doing that.
I'm really humbled. It's like your show is such a great opportunity. You got such a great focus on just bringing people and targeting them. So like just hearing cool guy come, it's like, to me, it's like you have a show about, you bring like TI philosophers. You're like bringing like, the thinkers. You're like, what is your view? And you're like, let's talk for an hour about your approach, not just about like this one thing. And that's really cool. I love it.
Oh yeah, it's been great.
Well, I just think there's too much like thought out there, like about how the game should be played and like what the beautiful game is, and I don't know what the fucking answer is, and I don't know if we'll find it, but it's just really nice that people have found like a passion to push themselves through this capitalistic hellscape we find ourselves in. I'm just kidding.
I mean, if you ever wanted evidence that there is like some stuff to talk about with this game, just look at Pillagegate, man. Just look at Pillagegate, man. Like 500,000 words have been written about Pillagegate, and that like, maybe that's not like the greatest example, in certain contexts or whatever, but I'm going to hold it up just as like another example of like, this game just contains multitudes, and there are these situations that crop up like that where there's a lot to say. There's a lot of different ways to analyze it. There's a lot of gray area. There's a lot of debate. And, where there's room for that, there's room for all sorts of content like this to be created, There's a lot to say, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Pillagegate really shows you is how many people have passionate opinion.
Yeah.
Which comes from engagement. That's like the real thing. Something like this happens, it's controversial. Like that's the nature of like the competition, you know. But and this is like this is what makes a community, right? That's like an insider's incident.
Yeah.
Like you can't really explain it. Like I can't, you know, totally explain it to an outsider. Like, oh, we had this thing. They're like, oh, but what? And you're like, oh, I have to explain to you these abilities. There's there's this objective with trade goods. Oh, like they're coordinate Winslang. Let me tell you. No, but like this is what made me really laugh about the guac point. Another like the guac gate.
Oh,
like, should you use guac points or they call it bonus points, right? And the part
we should not talk about guac right now because there's a shortage of avocados in America. Really affect. I'm just kidding. Anyways,
well, that is actually
it's actually a whole thing.
Political issue. The supply of avocados in the U.S. But what was funny to me was like, oh, it's exclusive. People don't know what you're talking about. Have you listened to the show like, where they talk about this? Like, what of it is understandable to anyone at all?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you were saying. Oh, it was round one custodian grab through the rift on the. Like, what are you talking about? All of it is like insider like talk.
Yeah.
Like, what is custodian grab round one? What does that mean? Who can do it? What does it mean? Like all this stuff. This is all inside talk, right? And that's what makes it like you could see the game has created a live community, and that's something that I hope. I mean, I think Matt and Hunter are doing a great job, like continuing this. We're trying to do it in the async. People like Big Al are doing it with DIGAL and Cool Guy with it. Like the people are like, all right, like this thing is alive. I have some time. I have some creative energy. I have some like Frogs would tell you. There's some emptiness in my life that the capitalist way of life can't fill. There's an empty hole in my heart from my daily work at the bank. Right?
Yes. It's true.
So
I'm channeling. Fucking burns you, man.
Sure, right. So then you're like, I'm channeling my creative energy and my free time and my passion to do something that keeps this game alive. And in some places, the company or whatever can like pick up on that. Like, and for whatever reason, like Twilight Imperium doesn't get that kind of attention from its like corporate overlords, right? They gave some codices and they did a stream 25, but it's not the big money maker or whatever it is. I don't know what's going on, but I'm saying so people are just stepping up to do this themselves. They do the homebrew, they do the things, they create this stuff, and that's what's that's what I'm like really enjoying. Like, and he said like you can organize a game, and that's why we started the server. Like we would be like, anyone want to join like a play by forum game? Is like anyone Bueller. Like I can't. Now you're like I want to stay away from the server. Like I almost joined 2 games earlier today. Thankfully, they feel too fast.
Yeah, totally. It's like you look and you're like, oh well, maybe I'll come back to this and like later today, and then if it's still open, then I'll join. Then you go back and it's just like already been filled like 2 hours ago or something. Like.
Well, like I don't like want to put it this way, but like I can't stop making fucking friends on that server. Like this fucking relic stand guy, the most enthusiastic fucking guy in the world. He fucking loves relics. Wow. God damn.
Love it. No.
Like Dead's Dead also like a recent addition, but like became a bot helper and an emoji creator and like meme maker.
Yeah.
And hilarious guy.
Well, you're just like giving people a platform, and like they just feel like they can be themselves, and that's what's like really cool about like the TI community in general.
Yeah.
Like people from all walks of life, just really like come out and like everyone. I don't know, like everyone just kind of like is enthusiastic about this. You meet common ground and you learn a lot about people from different places and like what they're about. Like Moose and I have now talked about the freaking Bible over DMs, guys, like in biblical history. Like what?
Yeah. I talked to him about the Bible as well.
Yeah. And it's like I raged at you for like 16 hours while I had COVID a day, and now we're like talking about biblical history. Okay. No, it's just like it's really cool, and I appreciate that though. Yeah. And then it's we meet like people going through like transition from male to female or female to male, and then like people in Australia, or meet a lot of cool people from there, New Zealand and Bavaria and all these other stuff. That's just like that's why I love it. And I just I had to get that off. It's just been something I've been thinking about.
No, I dig.
Really into it.
I dig. I love that it's such a diverse community, people from all walks of life, people from all over the world. That has been the really fun part for me, is because I haven't done like a lot of travel in my life, you know what I mean? Like, never been to Australia, but now it's like I think I want Australia to be the next place that I visit, because all these fucking cool ass people are down there, you know? Like,
oh gosh, yeah,
it's so great.
Yeah. That was one of the like first things, like, you know, I created this like TI celebrity role.
Yeah.
So it was PPD 8 actually. I think Big Al joined.
Mm-hmm.
That was the
So
Alliance
people were excited. Yeah, no, Alliance was number 10.
Oh.
I think it was 7 and 8, and I was in 8 with Big Al and Moose in the same game. And that was, you know, I was like, I've watched these people play on the tournament. I've heard Big Al stream, and I was like, oh, I'm playing with these guys. Like, that was like a cool, like, I don't play on TTS. Like, I haven't, like, now TTPG. Like, I told you the last in-person game was 2019. I played, like, other than the sessions we've done last summer, which were like really great, but like, you know, I played like 3 TTS games live in the last 2 years, which were 2 of my tournament games, disastrously long both, and like 1 more.
Your poor wife, by the way. Your poor wife.
It was rough. It was like not cool with, like, because, you know, our 13th we didn't plan for. We planned for you know, a 12-hour window.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We made
Yeah,
arrangements.
no, I totally get that. Yeah.
I have no idea what happened in the last couple of hours. Like, my son was in the bath. I like moved from my computer to the laptop. I had like 1 earpiece in. I was like typing. I follow whatever it is. That I was like past long ago. They were like doing their thing. I knew there was going to be a tiebreaker. I knew in the tiebreaker. It was just like a question of whether someone is going to like steal the 10th point before that, which almost happened. Anyway, that was.
Wow.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's TI.
That's dark corners of TI.
Yeah, that's the fringe. You're out on the edge where no man's been before. But like, I totally get it, and it's time consuming. That's why async exists, though, right? Like, a little easier, just like type on your phone, like while you're scrubbing your kid's back. I follow warfare now. Frock, shut up. Yeah, it's a little easier to do that.
A little bit
now
easier.
we have buttons. You click them, and you know.
Oh yeah, no, I'm never gonna have to talk to anyone again. It's great.
Oh yeah.
Keep the salt to myself. Hold that in. You gotta hold those feelings in when you're mad.
Yeah, I gotta say, just for like anyone out there who had like maybe checked out the async server like earlier on and maybe like left or just aren't like super active at the moment or whatever, the quality of life improvements that have happened with the bot, like over the past, I don't know, just the past month or 2 or whatever, crazy, awesome, insane. Like, everything is so much easier. Like, back in my day, you had to do manual commands for everything, and now there's buttons and shit, you know? It's like...
Big shout out to Prisoner One.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of our people in our community are developers in their day job, and they join us like, oh, where's the bot on? Can I be? And they're like, sure. I give them the developer role, introduce them. And no shade to anyone. People are busy, like they have life and whatever. They look at it, then they maybe do a thing or maybe not. Prisoner One comes and he's like, I'm no developer, but I can do like maybe very simple stuff. Let me. Asks no questions, talks to no one, takes the list of things to do that I pinned in the development channel that Turturo is like explicitly avoiding, intentionally, you know, avoid. Like, I've always said my greatest contribution to the channel is nudging it. Like, I would like to the server, I always come to him and was like, could you please do this little thing?
It'd be really
and it was
quick.
like, yeah, he was like 20 minutes, and then 2 minutes later he's like, all right, I did it, and then he's like, broken bot. 5 minutes. Okay, I fixed it. Pushing, that's his method. He's always he's super quick. And like, you know, half the time I don't know what he's talking about. But he's like,
we don't deserve him. I mean,
no, we don't.
We do not.
Turturo, he's a genius, by the way.
Oh yeah,
this guy is like.
No, and he has some. If you follow Dungeons and Dragons,
his
or
Patreon
like
is
anything
awesome.
that it's map. Yeah, I'm on his Patreon. I've used his maps in my campaigns. They're very creative. They're very cool, and I look at them and I get ideas for like lore. Like, he had an idea with it, and you can come up with a story for him. It's really fun. So sorry to interject on your moment in the sun.
Plug his
Spoon, but,
Patreon
you've
for
been,
sure.
No.
you've been blocking the sun for this man for too long, and I won't have it. Just kidding.
It's true. People always come to me and says, "I love the server. It's so good. The bot's so awesome.
Yeah.
Did you do it all by yourself?" And I was like, "I did nothing, actually."
Well, you know what's great is we only have you on right now, and we can have him on again. We're milking content. We could have had you on at the same time. We decided not to.
He wants to come on, or
really?
You know,
He fucking loves us.
That'd be so awesome.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
No, but yeah, so Prisoner One is the recent enthusiastic guy who never promised anything, but really started hacking at small quality of life improvement things that I've been dreaming on and collecting ideas for. You know, from the Rise of the Messiah command that I forget who did it. I was like just things that Turtero always said, it's functional.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Go. It's a headache to create. It's not interesting creatively. And then he went and did some like a cool thing to accommodate the bot to do this other thing that on the back end makes everything go faster. But so Prisoner One, so shout out to him, is the recent enthusiastic guy on the team, and he's he's just a hardworking fella who loves it.
Killing it.
Oh, you got a cool thing, and he's killing it. Yeah, for sure.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So
that makes me happy.
Yeah. I want to transition over to talking about the PBD tournament. This is a very interesting
The look of shame in this man looks down and left. I've taken no psychology courses to know about this.
There's a lot to say.
Y'all are the PBD 151 players. So
yeah.
But yeah, so the tournament was
playing's a pretty light term for what happened in that game. It was fucking war, okay? It wasn't a game for some of us.
War is hell.
But
by the way,
it's true. It fits on your knuckles. War is hell right here.
That's the other thing that's cool about the async server is the amount of variants and stuff you've played. I've played Franken. I wouldn't play Franken in a live. I already have people I want to play it real, but I played Franken. I've restarted this Fog of War. Now there's a Fog of War server.
Yeah.
And all sorts of weird variants. You want to try a different objective structure. You want to try there are people let's do it. But anyway, the tournament, I was like, let's try it out. I really wanted to run an async tournament, but I am aware, despite what I may sound like when I chat on the SCPT server, I am aware of the limitation downsides of potential downsides of playing async, right? Even though I still think it's the best way to play. By the way, in my opinion, the best way to play is split IRL session. That's the dream.
Word.
That's
Word.
I have the table. I just need the people, and starting together. I'm here in Austin. I can tell you later after the best gaming experience that I've ever had that has inspired the async server long term, if you want. But about the tournament, the idea is I was I just put on a thing. Who wants to play in an experimental part? First 36 people to sign up were bam. And of course, the two of you enthusiasts, Frox, as well as the usual suspects, right?
Yeah.
So you had Big Al and Baldrick and Cody TCT and a lot of the folks who are play. And I thought the games would go smoothly. Almost everybody who played are experienced players who played a lot of the server. But things happen, right, in games.
They do.
Sorry.
And games stall, and we've had a dropout. So what I'm saying is it's been a good learning experience to kind of figure out what are some of the most disruptive issues that come up in an async tournament that has made me kind of think about and try to create, as I told you, I haven't posted it yet, but kind of collecting some guidelines for competitive async play that I hope I can post as recommendation to the server. I don't care if people follow them or not, but for the next PBD tournament, I would like that to be the norm. And it includes pretty fast play and some commitment. Maybe some people are not going to be able to play it, but hey, you got to balance, you got to do some trade-offs between being able to play this game in a way that the integrity of the competition stays on. And the two main concerns are dropouts, which are a big issue. And the second one is pace of game, which I think is a more subtle one. If a game stalls, of course, what does that mean? That's open for perspectives and interpretation. But at some point, it's very hard to keep the thread of the game going, to keep the engagement, to keep caring about it. Just even in 151, where it was a bunch of very experienced competitive players who have played a lot. it paused because there was controversy and there was some issue. One player had some issues, and when it was resumed, it was very hard to get back into it, right? To restart it. So these are, I think. Anyway, there's some more issues with that we can talk about. But the tournament, 4 games have completed. 151 completed legally, despite what Fox would say. It has a winner, or at least formally a winner, who doesn't actually recognize or acknowledge anything that happened in the game. 149 and 150 and 150 and 152 all finished, and so now we're waiting to the two stragglers that are 148 and 153 or 50. One of them just stalled for a long while because a player had to step away. We thought they were going to come back, and they ended up just not coming back on Discord. And that happens. People's lives change, and they need to step away from this hobby and whatever. And we just found a replacement, and this will go on. And the other one has actually been consistently making progress, but albeit on a slower pace. It's very close to the end. It's the final round. So we will have a winner there. We will have 6-player. We will do a finals, and there will be a winner to the finals game that will obviously get nothing. We'll conclude this tournament. And yes, I have ambitions for that. So I do want the server, like we have over 700 people joining. And there were like last, May, we had like less than 100 for sure, maybe even less than 50.
Yeah, I mean, I was in 17 and 29 and 40 at that time, and then the episode dropped for SCPT, and then it was like my next one after that was like 70. No, I did the tournament practice game. That's right.
Yeah, 133.
Yeah.
But
but it's still just.
Oh, it exploded. It exploded.
Yeah. So we're I'm excited about this. The bot is really good, as you said. Like we're on the quality life improvement stuff. Of course, people are now asking features for Fog of War, for Alliance, for like variants. Can you support Franken? What about Absol's agenda? Can you do Discord and stars? People are asking us like,
oh my gosh,
what? And it's like, can we play base game? What about 3 players? What about 2 strategy cards? Like a lot of these things. Like that's a lot of developer work.
Yeah.
I'm not paying them. Nobody's paying them. People do whatever they want to see happen. Like I can't ask them. I can beg.
Let people know that it's a wanted feature, but you can't be like, hey, you need to work on this.
Sure. So I just want to capitalize on what we do have, which is a functional bot for the kind of quote unquote standard, 6-player competitive map. That's like everything's working really smoothly, and like 700 people. Out of which like 350 are like fairly active, like are logging in on a relatively daily basis, and have a 216-player tournament. That's what I want.
Yes.
And have that tournament like start and finish within a year, within the same.
Actually, that's reasonable. That's a reasonable expectation.
That is the current. Yeah. But we do need to finish the previous one, and we do need to gather the lessons from the previous lines about what are some of the kind of basic ideas that will make it go smoothly.
I actually do want to ask you a question, Spoon. What got you into TI? Because you're playing the PBF, obviously. Did you start with 4th edition, or were you on a 3rd edition kick, or?
No, I started with 4th edition. Look, I'm a big board game guy. I have played a lot of, big strategy games of all kind. I played, my entry games were like, I played Diplomacy of all games.
Nice.
In like high school and around like when I was 18, 19.
I won a game of Diplomacy so hard, I never heard a person speak to me again.
Yeah. So Diplomacy
flipped the table, never talked to me again. Swear to God, in high school.
This is like my introduction to. I was telling you like how did I get to TI4? So I was playing Diplomacy. Then I like played some Catan way too long. Thought it was a good game. Didn't know there was any other games. It is an okay game. Played a lot of it. Then I upgraded to a Game of Thrones, the board game, and from there I was like, BBG. Then I got into like from 5 games to like 200. And all this time, like TI was like the game that I wanted to play, but I didn't have a group, or then my son was born. I was like, what am I going to have like?
Well, you moved quite a bit too, right?
I have moved a lot until I moved to Austin, which was kind of like a settling thing. And then when TI4 came out, I was like, that's an opportunity to jump on that train. I bought the game and I started getting into it, but it was still very hard to find opportunities to play. So I was in the
Totally.
play once a year camp kind of person.
Same.
By the way, you were talking about you had like, I was like, you talked about it in the show before about the meme of the mowing the lawn. I took that picture when I was mowing the lawn. It's because I forget who was it, but Finn or whoever was like giving you crap Brass about always being in the
no, it was Finn for sure.
And I was like, the acing server has two constituents. I feel like it's the parents who are like, I'm under my kid's bed, and they're mowing the lawn. I'm texting you while the baby's snoring, and I can't leave the room. And the other one is the ones that the younger folks who like go to the gym.
Yeah.
So this is where it came from. Like you're either, roll for me, I'm going to the gym. Yeah. Roll for me, I'm mowing the lawn, taking out the trash, doing the dishes.
What's really funny about that joke to me now is that like my version of the gym is right next to my lawnmower because it's in my garage. So like I'm the nexus point.
That's true.
Nexus point's my buzzword for the day.
You're in transition. You're in transition. I would say, from the gym to the lawnmower.
Yeah, absolutely hilarious.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just remember this one when we were doing our splits with JJ. You're like your kid would not go to sleep, so you're like army crawling out, like trying to make it so you can get to your laptop to come play a split game with us. But like you're like, she woke up, like you're texting as a play-by-play of like, she woke up. I was like 2 graces from the door.
I mean, it gets desperate. It gets desperate.
I get it. I mean, my nephew, I was 13 years old when my nephew was born, and he lived with us, and like it didn't happen often, but sometimes the sister was at work and my parents were going to bed, and it was like, you're stuck with the kid. And I'm like, I have school in the morning, but I can still leave and like put this kid to sleep, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
No, I didn't leave the room. I didn't. You're a better man than me to sneak out. I didn't have the balls, man. I didn't have the balls.
They didn't drop yet, right?
Probably not. Have you met me?
No.
Anyways.
You gotta figure a way. Yeah, you gotta figure a way.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Spoon, I thought you were going to tell a different story, though. You'd mentioned something
the
like
diplomacy.
Thank you. My ADHD came out. Yeah, sorry, guys.
Is that the one you were like, that's one of the best gaming experiences?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when I was 18 years old, I didn't go to college. I went to the Army, but that's a different story. It wasn't the U.S. Army. Different vibe. Didn't mean to kill the vibe. Edit this one out. Anyway, so I was 18 years old at the age where most people go to college, and I was in a context where it was very similar. I was living in a dorm, basically kind of studying in a course with a bunch of people. Actually, it was co-ed, which was great. But anyway, anyway, this is a different story. In our room, so I was introduced to diplomacy, right? I had like these 3 roommates. 2 of them were some of my best friends. The 4th guy was a nutcase. We're introduced to diplomacy, and we're like, oh, it's really cool. And me and my friend, who's to this day one of my best friends, was like, oh, let's gather some people. Oh, we were like in a college dorm type situation. It was very easy to find 7 people to play a strategy board game they've never played. Now, if you don't know diplomacy, which is one of the forefathers of the strategy games, TI has a lot to thank for diplomacy. It's a game that the actions are all simultaneous. You write them on a note secretly, and then you reveal them, and that's a round, right? And the thing about it is, like, in between, you have a time diplomacy. I've been to diplomacy tournaments. They have a timer. It's like, depending on the context, maybe 15 minutes or 20 minutes. You do all your talking, and then by the end of the timer, you need to submit your orders, and then they're all revealed and resolved on the board. So you think about it like, the strategy phase, everyone talking, and then secretly, simultaneously reveal what you've done. And we had a lot going on, whatever. We started playing. It's a super long game, right? It's a game that, first of all, can last forever. Like, it's got no mechanism to the drives to the end of the game. It's actually meant to model World War One, so there's all this like attrition war and stalemate situation that nothing can move. But anyway, we started playing. We didn't finish the first night, so we said, all right, let's leave the board here set up in our room, because we were a bunch of dirty guys living in, like, squalor. And we'll just like,
excuse me, sir, some of us are still dirty guys living in squalor, okay?
sure,
You
sure.
need to like, fucking be commenting on me on here. I feel called out.
Got him.
We'll keep playing next week. And what
I
happened
still
is
have
that
the Coke can Brian drank out of when he visited here, sitting on the table in there. I'm collecting all the good TI player DNA.
Ooh,
Okay?
I love that.
I do not need to know that. I don't think I had to know that fact.
He's,
now the
he's
world
gonna
knows.
clone Brian.
Gonna,
Yeah.
well, I have Carnal's DNA too. Don't you fucking worry,
Oh
buddy.
God. Okay, so you're
So
gonna
I
leave it next week. Next week, yeah.
And we're like, we'll play the next move next. We'll continue. What ended up happening is that we ended up playing a round a week.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of having like 15 minutes of negotiation was 24/7 in between. Like, because we're all living there, we were negotiating. It's like every fucking waking moment and night. It was like, can I talk to you about Austria? Like, you know, and it's like Austria is like plotting.
Is
or,
trying to
you know,
infiltrate the military, and they just catch all these kids. Can I talk to you about Austria right now?
And, you know, 4 of us are living in the same room, so it's literally like we're about to go to sleep. It's like, psst, are you asleep yet? No, what's up? Can we backstab France on the agreement we made tonight? It's like, I'm awake! You just on the other. You son of a bitch! Like, it's like we wake up, start fighting. So we were playing 24/7, and then the week's end, we all bring our command, and it was like, oh!
Yeah.
It was like this great resolution. We did this for like 12 weeks. It was
Oh,
amazing.
My God.
It was the best experience. Like, that's why I mean, like, IRL or in-person split sessions. Like, you do the a couple of rounds, and then you meet the next week, and the game is alive in between.
Yes.
Now, the way it ended, diplomacy doesn't have to end, but just like TI, if you know the hell mode, in the Australian server, they were like, even if you have one unit, you fight till the end, right?
Yeah.
This really has its history in like games like Diplomacy. One of the guys, who happened to be Austrian, was left with one city and one unit in the middle of the board.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was like very close to elimination. Nobody wanted to bother eliminating him because they were like, oh, busy fighting each other. So he's like sitting there like begging to be eliminated. I don't want to be in this game anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's like,
me.
I'm talking for you for weeks, like for 4 weeks. Everybody's like, can you just support me in my attack against this guy with your one unit? And like, they're like, eventually he was like, yeah, like, it was like, he didn't submit his orders for his one unit in Austria. And like, we couldn't resolve the round because that was pivotal. The one unit could like break the stalemate.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And so the game collapsed. We never finished it, but it was still an
wow.
absolutely amazing.
Oh, wow. That is such a wild story. Oh my God.
I love that. I actually absolutely love that.
I really love it. That I've never been in a situation close to that level of like engagement and length, but my version of it is that we would do like a 2-day long thing with me and my old college group of homies. And
bunch of kneecapping bandits.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we would do like, I don't know, we did like plenty of long 10-pointer games, but then we even got into like, oh, let's do like a 14-pointer. And then that's definitely a 2-day experience, because there was lots of bullshit. There's lots of drugs, obviously, lots of beer drinking, lots of
fear and loathing in Humboldt County. Am I right?
No, for real. And it's lots of smoke breaks, obviously. And they're like, it's like our version of like keeping the game going on 24/7 is that we all step out. Like, some people are out in the front of the house, some people are out in the back of the house, and we're just like sneakily looking at each other, taking tokes and everything. And it's like, so what are we gonna do about Joel and Nahar, man? Like, what are we gonna do about them? This is a whole problem, man.
Yeah. The crazy part is, in my story, there's not even a drop of alcohol involved.
Mm-hmm.
No illicit materials. It's all adrenaline
Mm-hmm.
and not being able to, legally not allowed to go anywhere else. Having to physically be in that place.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Dream. Like, I want to, like, now I have a gaming table, to have like a game set up, to have the in-person split with people that, now I have Kyle Ruthless, met with him a couple of times to play in Austin.
Awesome.
A bunch of people do. And so that's what I really want to have, like this kind of ongoing game that you talk about reasonably, not necessarily in the middle of the night anymore, but like our splits, that was the fun part, because we would hang out in the Beautiful People's Club, formerly known as Captain Cave, and chat about it the whole time in between splits.
Yeah.
And again, once it's stalled, if you don't resume it or you can't,
it's over.
It's over, right? The game's done, right? It's dead.
Mm-hmm. Well,
no, I agree with that.
What I love that we did, Teaspoon, is that we took that one really crazy cool map that Somno made for us. Yeah, we took that and then we turned it into an async game.
Yeah.
And I would love to do that. I would love to revive those old splits, because we still have like the channels on our server where we would talk about the games, and we got pictures of the like TTS map and everything, you know. Like, I would love to convert those. And you know what? I'll say this right now. I will even hop back into that game where I'm playing Empyrean and Prepara is SAR in the middle of my slice with the Alpha Asteroid Field. I will even continue that one in that same game state. I will even do that.
I'm game for anything, but I will say, by the way, someone just named the map, because I added it to the bot map. You can find it now on TTPG as well in the reservoir.
Oh, cool.
I was like, Somno, could you name the map? And it was like, yeah, call it Somno's Fugly Blob. So now that's the name. If you look up Somno's 7P Fugly Blob.
Oh my god, that's so good.
He's such a chaotic fucking mother.
Dude, I love Somno.
He's so funny. Oh my god.
He's hilarious. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's so good.
Wow.
But that's like Homeboy Prisoner One of his projects that I hope he will. I mean, he's not under no obligation to do it, and it might even be above his, like, I don't know, supposedly is a complicated task. I really want the TTPG into async translator.
Yeah,
I think it opens up a lot of opportunities. Speaking about the tournament, my actually desire or intention or hope for future tournaments is to have the other way around. You start a game on async, or maybe even both. You do like the first few rounds, the boring 3 to 4 rounds, and then the exciting round 4 or 5.
Round 1, round 5, very exciting.
Yeah,
right.
Round 1,
you this weekend.
You kick it up. You kickstart it. Round 1 and 2, you do it on stream. People already know what they're doing. You go through the motions. Then you let it stew on async for a few weeks. You take your turns whenever you can, and then the finisher you do live. You stream it.
Mm-hmm.
And Prisoner One is like one of the few people I was like, I've been wanting this forever.
Yeah.
And Tortero was like, I'm not gonna play in TTPG, therefore I'm not gonna do it. Now I'm blaming the guys, but yeah, I get that. Look, he is, in my book, he is made of gold. He can do no harm. He can do no wrong.
Yeah.
Anything he says or does is like, I like. We owe so much to him. He's given us so much out of his like free time. I hold nothing against him forever and ever. But Prisoner One was trying to do this. It's apparently much more complicated than it sounds for a variety of reasons. And they were like, Tortero, the save file is really like, organized in a weird way. It was like, I never thought there would be like 10 different engineers trying to poke at this project, right? Somno, Tortero and I, we were talking like when we started, it was like, maybe we'll have like the 30 people from Board Game Geek over here. It's like, we didn't think there would be like hundreds of games, literally 190 games going on.
That blows my mind, bro.
If that happens, we can totally do start a split session, play it on the bot for a few weeks, and then maybe even finish it live if the other direction also works.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, that'd be great.
Very exciting to think about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, bro, if you take the time to gather the folks of any of the game that I was in, including the one where I'm Letnev and all my ships.
Listen, that was a play of the week, though. You live on.
Oh, that did turn out.
SCPT fame.
Right.
Listen, I'm the only person here whose name hasn't been mentioned on that podcast. That's all I'm going to say. You two are famous. I don't deserve it, nor do I want it, by the way. I'm just more commenting about how wonderful people you all are.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I'll tell you what you need to do is that you just need to submit to a play of the week, but it's one of the disasters. You know what I mean? Just have
they don't
disaster
like winning
those.
They don't like winning plays.
Oh,
They don't.
yeah.
They don't take the winning plays.
It's true.
I
They don't.
haven't won. I've won an alliance game, but I haven't won since 17 Spoon.
Mm.
Well, Fox, you know what you need to do? If
What?
you write down one of your vendettas, like
Yeah.
one of those.
Oh no, we need
And
to bring.
that-
we need to bring the jazz hating club
Oh,
to
yeah.
all
Oh,
the
yeah,
way
yeah,
to the
that's
top,
one.
bro. Like,
I'm gonna.
Your Muat,
Jazz-
your Muat thing.
Oh my god, dude.
yeah.
Dude, that'll be fucking Pillagegate all over again. That's what it
your
fucking
moose
is.
home taking with
Oh
from
my
like
god, dude. From 29. Oh, that was great. Oh
Wow.
man, best use of Minister of what's the one where you put a dock down, you can build from it.
Oh, industry.
Minister of Industry, yeah, Minister of Industry into a 17 resource build using Nalu's trade agreement. Like I used her trade agreement on trade.
Wow.
Next round, I Minister of Industry that master planned in the silence of space and flank speeded into Moose's home system
Whoa.
using the War Sun through the supernova.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. No, that's
Yeah.
hot. That's
yeah, he
really
still
hot.
won the game by the way, so it didn't matter. But
yeah, Moose won. Yeah. Moose love. Yeah.
well, because he was blue and had a double dock to Biz Freya. I mean, like you Zayu, you fleet log, and you come in. Like what?
Yeah, I played one game as Nalu and I won by like the widest margin of game I've ever won.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
it was
no,
because like I feel like it was like Codex 3 was new. People were like in this game didn't know like Muat and Mahak got into this like forever war, like kind of killing each other. And I double dock Space Dock 2 because there's like 2 unit upgrade objectives or whatever.
Mhm.
And it was like Initiative 0, 14 new fighters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unlocked.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I mean I was Argent in that game, so like his mech countered my entire faction,
Uh-huh.
and then Expendable lost all of his starting units to the Rift on his other
Wow.
side.
Yep.
What was I gonna do?
I don't
Exactly.
know. I don't know.
But you know how
Exactly.
we're talking about, you're like, oh, I remember 29, 33, remember 33 with like, Cody TC, this,
Yeah.
this is what's so fun about this. Like, remember 17, you had some pretty wild plays in 17. I remember you were like, I was like, Yasarl is like a dreadnought faction. Like, Rock is like,
Mhm.
round 2, he's like, I have 5 dreads on the board. He has no blue tech. I'm like, what are you doing? He was like, I don't know how to spend my money, man. I'm like swimming in it.
Gotta spend it
Then
on
you heard
something.
that game.
5 command tokens blocking a Nalu foresight so I could win the game with fight with precision.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
It was cool. It was very cool. You like sniped. I was Imperial, snipes all my mechs, or like moves like that. All these weird moves just to move away from my mechs.
Yep.
It
I
was
had
like-
so much money, I didn't know what to do with it. Like it's Yasarl's stupid. I'll never yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
Star is so
Love
cool. Tertero was like, I'm Caloris and I have War Sons.
I'm gonna
Caloris just came out. He was like, what do I do with Caloris? I don't know. I have all this money. I'm going to get unlocked War Sons.
Yeah. Since we're talking about Tertero, I feel the need to talk about this one meme that I made because I played in a Magi's Madness game. This was 47 that I played in.
Oh my god.
Magi's Madness.
Almost 300 PVDs ago.
Yeah,
by the way.
no
That's right.
joke.
That's so crazy, right?
Yeah. So I'm playing Barony and Tertero is Sar. And we had this whole situation where he had come into Lodor, kind of like up on the top of the map, getting real close to my asteroid field that's like adjacent to my home system, getting way too close. So I, without really talking to him about it, decide to just come in with my big fleet, got my infantry, I'm going to take the planet, but it's mostly about just pushing him back. And he was like not happy about it. And he was like, can we talk about this? And I was like, bro, you're like really close to my asteroid field. Actually, the funny thing is that he never researched chaos mapping. I'm remembering now. So like why I don't know. It's like, why was I worried about it? But it's like the assumption is like, you're going to get in there. You're going
That is your Achilles heel, is your assumptions, my man. I'm just going to come out and say it.
All right.
By the fucking,
calm
I
down.
know
Calm
what
down.
mine is. I'm going to say yours. Mine is my unending
I'm
quest
telling-
for vengeance.
I'm telling the story. I'm telling the story.
I'll stop.
So I'm just trying to push him back. And, I land this bombardment. It's like he's down to like 4 infantry, and then I'm like going to land my mech and infantry, and like everything's going to be fine. First round of combat, I roll all whiffs, and his 4 infantry all hit. And I swear to God, it's like 8, 9, 10, 10 is his roll. And I was so shocked, and I immediately made this meme that was just like the screen grab from like the rolls, and then just like this little hacker meme guy with a meme face, and it just says like hack.
He loves it.
Oh yeah.
Turturo loves.
Yeah.
He loves the I tricked the bot into giving me the good agendas. He loves that play.
But he has nothing to do with Dice Court is the funny thing.
No, he doesn't.
Like,
he doesn't. And honestly, it's the funny part. Somno and I, so I haven't spoken. We've talked about Somno, what a great guy is. Somno did all the original graphics all the way back to BGG. Yeah. And the three of us really bonded over the process of creating this, because at the very beginning it was just the three of us. So, like in terms of admins and ownership of the server, like it's the three. We said very early on we're gonna just keep it between us three, and like whatever happens, like it's just the three of us. Like we were like equal partners of the experience, even though Turturo did like the vast majority of the work on the bot, and someone did this, and I am like technically the owner, but. At the very beginning, this was so fun to play with them, and Turturo is like a little bit like step back a little bit, and I kind of miss it. I've been like joking around on the channels, like, "Hey, people should join games with Turturo and lose to him," so he's like excited to work about the bot again. I mean, things come up in life, but yeah, it's like that's where it comes from. Like originally, like we played a ton of that, and Yeah, Turturo is an odd one. You got to play the players, man. You can't play the game without the players. And Turturo doesn't take the well-beaten path. He was like in that game. It was like Mentak and Julnar, where it had this deal where they were doing like basically printing money with like mirror computing and E-Res. They were like, "I'm going to activate you 9 times this round, and we're going to spend this like 2-2. This generates more CCs." Like they were basically like mathematically
my God.
saying, what's the maximum number of tokens Mentak has, that if you only activate Julnar, how many like trade goods does it like generate on the net side? It was like
if you get salvage ops money on top of that. Oh my God. Anyways.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's
that'd
like
be
printing my own money.
They ran into like Julnar doesn't have enough systems with ships in them. That was like the limitations that
totally.
Humble played Necro with mirror computing and E-Res in my very first PBD. He didn't win. Yeah, because he quit async and he switched over to who did it switch over to? I think it was Somno. Started playing as took over for him, but yeah, it was goddamn.
Yeah, but if Humble hadn't told me let's play PBD, he was in PBD number 1, by the way. He played Tsar very poorly.
Really?
Yeah, he played a very poor game.
Damn.
Shit
I played
happens.
Necro that game. He was like, he built this big ball over Mechatol and basically deserted everything else. Had nothing in asteroid fields, like very little. It had like, and I just came in and like crushed it with like more stuff. And he was like, "Oh shit, I got nothing left."
Just SAR things.
Anyway.
Just SAR
things. Just SAR things. SAR things is like one day you're a king, you have everything, the other day you got nothing.
Oh yeah.
My only ever SAR win, I ended with 1 piece of plastic on the board.
Yep.
And I won the game though.
Yeah.
That's a SAR thing.
It was my flagship. That was the only thing left on the board, but it was unveiled for the 10 point.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's fun.
Wow. SAR is freedom.
SAR is a well-designed faction, in my opinion. Now we're getting into. I didn't give you any of my TI lectures, luckily for you.
I love them.
Well, Spin, we hope to keep the podcast going. We hope to have you on again. I would absolutely listen to you. You would lecture me about anything.
Anything.
Yeah,
especially the Panama Canal, by the way.
I don't know that much about it. I can talk to you about a lot about the Suez Canal, by the way. I know a lot more about the Middle East than I know about North America. But Star is a well-designed faction. I do actually have a lot of wish to. I don't have time for it, and the server has encouraged me to like maybe create some content for it so that I could like even the streaming. And Brassbird and I, we did some streams on PBD 100 and Liver Squatch, God bless her soul, has like taken up the mantle of like pushing this game along, keeping it alive, resuscitating it. And when the semester ends and summer comes around, I have a little bit more time. I hope to do some more of it myself. But those streams were fun, and those videos were real fun. So I hope to do some more of this. And just like you said, there's an audience to it. The server provides a platform. I hope to like do a little bit more of my thoughts on it, not from any perspective of privilege, of just because I spend a lot of time doing this. You too as well, right? So you just think you like you said, you want to give back to the community, but it's an outlet for you to share all this knowledge and experience you've accumulated.
Sure. Yeah. That's
the beautiful thing, right? You want to share it, and that's that. Like we can go back and talk about 1733, 133,
151. Wait,
217, 151. Oh, no.
Well, it does not.
All right, so now you brought it up. So 151, there was an agreement not to take Mekatol.
Yep.
Which I intended to fucking do.
And Brass.
Yeah.
May or may not have intended to.
Now I'm the interviewer. So what happened in that game?
Well, it was this whole situation, and I'm going to say, first of all, Expendable, I love you, baby. I love you. I love you. I want to hug you. I had the time of my life. But he was playing Yin. He got Sardak's Alliance, who was fled on his other side. And he's my neighbor on my right side, Expendable is. He got Sardak's Alliance, and then he had this whole yellow skip business that allowed him to get integrated economy.
That's Expendable's middle name is Yellow Skip. That's how it is.
Exactly.
Expendable Yellow Skip
Cruiser 2, man. So he's got this whole combination where it's like he will rock me in ground combats. He will build so much infantry on my planets, and I will never be able to take them back. And I saw this coming from like a mile away, and he comes into my slice, and then there's this whole situation where it's like I'm really trying to counterplay him. I'm trying to slow him down. I get off this lucky retreat thanks to the Thunderian. Thanks, Frox. I get this lucky retreat off, and I decide to retreat my infantry away, which removes his ability to unlock his commander. And then that was kind of like the flashpoint where he's like, well, if I can't get my commander, then I have all the more reason to push into your territory. And I'm playing Tsar. And then I was like, bro, you were already going to do that anyway, because look at this death machine that you've created. And it just kind of devolved from there. So we got into this forever war, a classic forever war, I would say. And we reached like a stalemate point. And while that was going on, then all this like no Mekatol stuff was going on. And we had plenty of funny memes about that, I will say. And then there was just like a whole, I don't know, like it just got to the point where it's like Fled had the supernova in his way to get to Mekatol, but then he also had Nav Suite, and he had gotten like fleet logistics, and he has Imperial. So he had Chef's Kiss, exactly. It's like he had like the whole like he had the game completely locked up with this. But the thing was that because by breaking the Mekatol Pact. Exactly. Yeah. But the problem was that like he had communicated that to the table, and then Susan was like, oh, you're going to break the no Mekatol Pact? Well, here I come with my cruisers. Here I come. I'm going to completely block you, completely wreck you. And then that was when the game totally got this just deadlock, And then now we're in this whole, I know, it's almost like a pillage gate or something. We just like talked so much about like, what was this whole no Mechatol pact even about? Is it even like sustainable? Like, was that actually the problem with this game? And what's up with this expendable getting Gamma Mama and integrated economy? I'm just playing.
Also, highlight of the game for me was Susan tried to attack me and failed.
That's also now. That's a Susan trademark now. Like he has the.
Well, I intentionally did. What started the Megatol pack is that I didn't take Megatol with first pick round 2.
Round 2, yeah, for sure.
Because if I extended, my home system's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
So. Like that's what started it. Because like I'm a bitch. I'm gonna play scared. I took Diplo first pick. Diploed one system, defended them in the other.
Yeah.
Like first, I was like Brassbird, play leadership first.
Yep.
Take leadership. I know you don't need it. I'm gonna take Diplo so I can get some value off of Diplo.
Yeah. That was really how it started, because at the beginning of round 2, it was like neither myself or Frox were willing to extend for custodians because this was not a normal game by any standard, and we could tell that right away. And when it's like, I'm not going to take custodians, he's not going to take custodians, then it's like, okay, Susan can take it. And then we started talking about like, well, Susan's just going to win this game. And then Susan's like, well, I won't take Mechatol if no one else does.
Yeah.
And that's what started it. And we just like, I don't know. I will say this, it was just like, it was the weirdest game I've ever played.
Yeah.
Bar none. Weirdest game I've ever played. I'll still say great memes.
Yes.
Really great memes from them.
Only time I've never been mad about aggression towards me that I felt was unwarranted for one reason. It was expected and discussed before the game started. That was what was most likely going to happen. Although Susan was like whispering everyone and like including me, but all they said to me was hi. I was like, oh yeah, I know who the target is here.
I mean, there was quite a bit of salt, but the salt wasn't about that. I mean, I feel like it's funny because there was a taking Mechatol pact, which both Susan and Frox, it seems like, took as like a real a commitment, a commit to the bet, kind of like a straight game. While Frox and Fled took it as like a wink.
No, Brass and Fled,
Mechatol, unless it's your 10th point. Unless it's your 10th point, because then all bets are off.
Yeah.
Right. But that's not how Frox and Susan took it, right?
Yeah.
And then you have Expendable. Who knows what he's smoking? He's on a different...
He's Florida Man incarnate is Expendable, okay?
You know, and there's only integrated economy around him, and everything's cool.
Yeah.
And then
there's
Hado. Hadoken, who I thought was going to be eliminated first. Silly
I don't know why
right?
Susan didn't go into the Turtles. To this day.
In the first round, I was looking at this game. First round, Extra, famously a slow start, right? One carrier, 4 infantry, by the way, moves in a finals game, had all the infantry in the space, was going to move 2, left 2 without a carrier, like famous error. They let him take it back, whatever.
Yeah.
Extra has 1 carrier to start, very slow start, very powerful hero, white, whatever, right? And he's like, first round, I look at it, he took 1 system. Both his equidistance were taken because Fled as Sardak took the equidistance to one side.
Yep.
Susan as Titans without Warfare took the other equidistant, put a space dock on it round 1. Hope Sand or whatever it was.
Yep.
And I was like, I know he's dead. It was like done. It was like he's
done.
He's done. Then fast forward to like round 3 or whatever. It's like 12 PDS. His flag those 3 systems is packed with turtles to the brim. It was like, what happened here? It was like, I don't know. I was like looking like just in my slice. Apparently, Sar and Yin got into a forever war. Susan tried to eat Nomad.
Yep.
Actually, Fled also ate into Expendable. Had all this like back and forth there, and the turn was like slow and steady. Win the race.
Yeah. and then the funny thing is that we almost like win-made Hado is because
you tried.
Yeah, we tried exactly. Like I gave my support over. Frox did it too. Gave the support over because we were
Susan
like,
did too.
Yeah, oh, for sure. We were like, okay, support's going that way. Like, we just want to end this game, and Hada's been a sweet baby angel, and like, whatever. We're just going to do that. And then Fled just ended up doing the thing that he was going to do anyway, and just took Mechatol. And you know what? I approve. I approve because I'll spoil it right now. I was planning on taking Rex the entire time. If he didn't have the nav suite, if that didn't work out, I was banking on in the end game. It's like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hope for an action phase secret. That will be my 9th point. And then I fleet log into Mechatol for the 10th point. Like that is the plan, never got there, but shit happens. Oh,
I had no path that game. My secrets were trash. My action cards were trash. I made it to 4 points somehow. That's all I'm gonna say.
And you should be proud.
What a game!
I'm something.
Yeah.
I'm something.
So that's the kind of game. So in 149, which was my tournament game, I was playing with Big Al Cappuccino. My son is also named Bort.
Wow.
Cody TCT, Kyle Ruthless, and Jezix Hands. Right?
No, I was gonna say it's a boat float game, but my two nemesis are in that game. fucking bunch of boat hole sinkers there.
I called it boat floater heaven, and it was like you had Big Al with no plastic as Saul, like nothing, no carriers, no fighters, no infantry.
So funny.
Like just a couple of destroyers hanging out in empties, like one carrier. It was like at some point, Cody TCT, who's like, a sweetheart of guys, like, should we eliminate Saul? Like, it's doable, right? Like, Cody's like, because Kyle is Yasarel had his support, right?
Yeah.
And so I played this game that was honestly one of the most pleasant TI experience I've ever had. Like, I've had no strife with anyone. The only conflict I had was with Kyle, and it was all like,
well, that's just
cordial. Yeah, but no, it was super cordial. He knew what was coming. It was like the end game scenario. You had Yasarel and Nalu both at like each other's throat, both with Zeu, like playing with like, Yasarel took Diplo, so Nalu took Warfare, and it was like, who's going to pop it first? And they're both stalling like mad. And I'm like, as Empyrean, I don't have a path. I didn't have a path to 10 that round. It was round 4, right? I was missing a point. I was missing a freaking point, right? Except Yasara has shard, right? That's the whole point. So Nalu's trying to take their home system, and they're stuck in this stalemate. And of course, this was the beautiful Empyrean moment. It ends up with like my mech can sabo this like crucial card in the battle between Yasara and Nalu, and they're both are like telling me, "Hey man, like, Nalu says, oh yeah, I know what it was. It was infiltrate." Nalu attacks the system next to Yasara home system. He's going to with Zeu.
And he's going to infiltrate build. Oh, that's
War Sun.
So nasty. That's so good.
He has like a naked War Sun with like 3 fighters there.
Yeah.
And he's going to infiltrate and he's going to build this big fleet, and it's like going to smash into the Yasara home system, right?
Yeah.
Because he's Zeud. And so Yasara's like, you got to sabo this, and he's offering this gambit. And now it's like, no, you just, don't sabo it. I go into the Yasara home system, I die probably because Yasara is built up. And then you come swooping in. I will unlock your fleet. Because I have the commander. So he unlocked. And it's like ended up this place where it's like I have Cody TCT on one hand and Kyle Ruthless on the other. Cody TCT is the guy who lost the freaking finals because he stuck to his word. Like he had a deal there. He had like, and then I have Kyle
Ruthless, who's Ruthless.
I love you, buddy. But you like lie all the time. Like you always freaking lie.
I don't even know. Is his name really Kyle? Has anyone seen his ID?
Like in this game, by the way, he kept lying about having like sneaky action cards that he didn't have. He was Yasarel, so he thought it was like I like attack his home system. Was like, what are the surprises? Like I have none. That's the lie. I had nothing. Anyway, so I'm like, I'm gonna go with Cody. Cody follows through. Goes into Yasarel home system, like clashes into it, doesn't succeed, but thins it out enough for me to swoop in for the shard and the win. And he unlocks my home system after his shot is gone because he's like, I'm a chill man of my word. Like I gave you a solemn promise. And so the whole thing was like, obviously Kyle was a bit salty because he was like, you double tagged my home system. I built enough to survive. Like he was like the only slice that wasn't either streamable in the whole map. And like,
my God.
I only got there because he unlocked my fleet. Like he unlocked my, like I made a double 4-move light wave Warsun move, right?
Wow.
Classic.
So it was like such a pleasant experience. And then I check into 151 and there's like rivers of salt going in all direction. Expendable is like, Brass, why did you give me my home system back? And Brass is like, you're going to do this. And it's like there's a shit show.
Oh my God, dude.
Oh, dude, it really was. Wow.
And I,
Hilarious.
you know, my blood pressure, I had to see a doctor after that. Blood pressure got a little high.
A little high, yeah. Wow.
But Spoon, it's been an absolute pleasure to hang out with you today, man.
Such a
we'll
good
definitely
time.
have to have you back. I mean, it's not even a question. No,
Totally.
it's a foregone process. We'll have to do tournament updates. Come on, that thing's ongoing. Got to talk to you after the finals, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, I love you guys for sure.
Love you.
I love you too, buddy.
Pleasure.
Seriously, depths of my soul. I love you, my man.
Straight up, dude.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say before we sign off?
I'll just say that the async server is really flourished because I mean, first was Somno Tortero but so many people like stepped up to be bot helpers, to do some code work. I mean, I can't even name them all. I'll put a post up with all the people that have. Well, it was Sarin and back Fussbill and Hado, by the way, one of the original bot helpers from the very beginning. But this is what has been so fun and so like gratifying to keep like putting in work and doing all this like admin stuff that is all I do really. It's been amazing. Like, and your show, guys. I mean, you grew up in the async server. I'm gonna
straight up.
you. I mean, I mean, every show that you talk about. I am. You talk about async games every single show.
Yeah.
And I mean, when Frox was in this game with Moose, like he talked about it every episode, and I was like, I know what he's talking about. Like,
straight up.
Yeah.
So I love you guys, and it's been just like one hell of a ride this last year.
Yeah, straight up. And here's to many more crazy rides and many more rivers of salt and But yeah, seriously, love you, Spoon. Can't wait for the next time we're sitting down and talking like this, man. This is just so enjoyable. So much
thanks
fun.
for making time, dude. I know you're insanely busy.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. All right. Do you think it's time for our favorite New Zealander?
Oh, I think it's time. It's definitely time to chill with Prepara Player.
Hey, I've been asked to record this for the podcast, so I guess that makes me your resident Kiwi for the week, or I don't know, however long it is until they release the next episode. Listen to me again, in which case I'll keep being the Kiwi, I guess. Anyway, I've been asked to explain what people call the Pre-Pirate's Gambit to you, which is named after me, not the TV show, which I am named after. But essentially, I mean, it's based on my philosophy of how to play the game, which comes from primarily being an IRL player, where, like the worst thing that happens, right, is you don't win the game, and then you're just stuck hanging out with friends all day, which is a pretty good outcome, right? So, even if you play, at your best, right, only 1 in 6 players is going to win the game. So, my philosophy to maximize winning is to just make crazy wild plays round 1 and 2 before I'm actually invested, right? And, if I lose, I just drink beer the rest of the game and hang out with friends. And if I don't lose them, then I have a better shot at winning, right? And might as well take that win. It's not really a lose, right? It's a win-win. But here's the play that made it popular came from, well, I wouldn't say popular, but the play that people started talking about it was from our first Bat Captain game, where round 1 we're looking at the map, and I'm playing Nomad, and I see that one of the objectives is to have more planets than both your neighbors, and the only way for me to score that is to rift my flagship through can't remember if it was Cormand or regular Rift. I think it was Cormand, but I had to rift my flagship into the Jolnar dice and take their 3-planet system, right? And if I did that, then I would be able to outnumber both my neighbors and planets. So I did it. And my secret also happened to be Unveil flagship, which it's pretty nice to score that round 1 as Nomad. I mean, obviously it's an easy one for Nomad, right? But it's pretty funny just to be like, yeah, so I'll rift and take a slice and get 2 points out of that. And that's where that's the play that I think made people start referring it to as a gambit, because if you fail that as Nomad, you're kind of out of the game. Whoop. But yeah, that's me. That's my explanation. If you have any questions, ask. What's their names? Frogs and Brassbird. It's their podcast. See ya.